It's getting desperate for Yannick Ngakoue, though. I mean, to me, it comes across as he is just begging his way out of Jacksonville at the moment because he knows he's stuck. He's stuck unless they make a move in the next couple weeks. He's stuck all the way until what I believe will be Labor Day. If he does not get traded in the next couple of weeks, Yannick Ngakoue is stuck with a hard decision to make. Do I play for a team that I've said I don't want to play for and won't play for, and I'm a big principal guy, and do I pass up a check of $1 million plus a week, or do I sign that thing and reluctantly play and hope that I get traded either early before the season or at the trade deadline? I think he's desperate. And this is why he's talking, by the way, a little bit, in my opinion. I mean, why hadn't he talked to any time until right now? He knows the clock is ticking. And this has been not working in his favor ever since really last year. I mean, and now the clock is up against him. Again, what I've said now, keep in mind, I do think at some point in this, the leverage will go on Jan's side, but it won't be till later down the road, and he clearly doesn't want to enter that building once again. So if he doesn't want to enter that building, the clock is really ticking, I think, for the next couple of weeks on Yannick Ngakoue.
Listen, I've been on teams where guys have checked out, where guys have moved on, and they're kind of a detriment to their team that they're currently on. If you watch the Yannick Ngakoue interview, it's a foregone conclusion. In his mind, he's not a Jacksonville Jaguar anymore, okay? He's past that point now. Now, I get what the roster says. I get what his contract says. But I'm just saying where Yannick Ngakoue is coming from right now, he's not on the Jaguars anymore. And I'm curious to find out where, if indeed a team doesn't trade for him, if he is indeed still under that franchise tag, what the culture and what the atmosphere is going to be like with him in the locker room. Because he's already gone. Like, what does that do to your team, a young team, mind you, a team who needs leadership, a team who needs to show that path? What does that do for your team if one of your older veterans is gone? And to me, it doesn't help you, obviously. I think it could mix for some turmoil in the locker room. Obviously, at times, so has to pass. But I think with Yannick Ngakoue thinking that he's already off the Jaguars, it could be a powder keg, I guess, waiting to happen.
And it could be a very dangerous situation for Yannick Ngakoue in the sense of this. Other teams will know that. Like, word will spread about that. And a long-term contract becomes more of a risk for a team, depending on how they view that. Because they know he can, if he gets unhappy at this situation, or, how's he going to react? And so will it be a big factor? I don't know. But could it cut you down from wanting to do a 5-year deal versus a 3-year deal and take on less risk? Could be. It's each team to their own,
Yeah.
But like when the Rams got Jalen Ramsey, they know what they got in Jalen Ramsey. They have to be willing to put up with that stuff in Jalen Ramsey. And by the way, on Hard Knocks now, we'll get to that, a little bit later. So And that's the picture he's kind of painting. It was interesting. I didn't realize he was on NFL Live as I was getting ready to come in here, and I got a text, and somebody said, he's ripping the Jags culture, and then I go back and watch it and listen to it, and I mean, yeah, I don't know if he ripped the Jags culture. I think he said what we all know. You want to know the record for the last 12 years? I mean, I don't think he necessarily ripped into him. So kind of the way it was presented for me, I was like, oh, boy, here we go. But I don't think it really comes across that way. I think, listen, if you asked Jan to speak his mind right now, I think he would have said what he said, and that was fine. That's the way he feels. Again, what's important to go back on this, and we kind of got to this late last week, and we've been talking so much about it, and finally something resonated a little bit more with me, something new, something we hadn't really talked about, is that you really have to wonder if they played the cards too early in this, because it's lasted so long, and they played the cards so early last year when it got Jan so ticked off that they had no leverage at that point. And quite frankly, they still really don't have a lot of leverage. You got a franchise tag. You've got a team with 12 picks. And I think you've got an owner that feels like he's getting backed into a corner on the heels of the Jalen Ramsey situation where he'd get backed in the corner. I don't think this plays out in Jan's favor. I'm sitting here today, and like Ryan Davis is jumping in. We're having a little fun on social media. And he says top 5 teams for where Jan to go. I said, where are the Jags on that list?
What do you say for the top 5 teams?
Top 5 teams. He had the Giants, the Eagles, the Seahawks, the Jets, and the Bills. And I said, where are the Jags? And so he just tweeted me back, former Jag Ryan Davis, who co-hosted with us a couple weeks back. He said, number 33, the Jags. And actually, here's the deal. Here's what I think. I don't think Ryan could be any more wrong. I think the number one team for 2020 for Yannick Ngakoue is right here in Jacksonville. I still don't believe he's getting moved.
Well, obviously, the price has to be right. But when you say he's going to be on the Jaguars, do you mean he's going to play for the Jaguars or he's going to be on the Jaguars?
I believe he will be on the Jaguars, and I still believe he will play. I said, again, we're talking to somebody this morning about it. It's a conversation, and it depends who you look at, right? I'm going to say, for the sake of argument, because I'm tired of this 19 number being thrown out. It wasn't 19 million last year. I think we've been clear about that. What exactly it was, what kind of, on paper, could it get to 19, all that stuff. Whatever it was, they weren't comfortable with the deal. That's how we got here in the first place, and it wasn't 19 million. So let's just say, for sake of argument, it was 17 million, okay? Which I think it could have been closer to, maybe 17 or even 18, but it wasn't up to 19 as everything I know about it. So say 17, and he played for 2. That's 15 million difference. So just take the 17 and then add it to the 18 that he could make this year, 17.8, but we'll round up to 18. That's $35 million over 2 years, where if he doesn't play, he would earn $2 million. I understand principle, but there's a part where stupidity comes into play too. $35 million versus $2 million. He has to play, Austin. Like, he has no choice. And that's why I believe this is a little bit more desperate right now, that he's trying to get out. I mean, he's been trying to get out. He's been unhappy with the situation, but he sees the clock, and the clock is ticking. And I'm not saying these are bad moves. I applauded the move weeks ago at the beginning of free agency, and I'm not even saying this is a bad move. Get out there. Tell him you want out there. He tried playing the heel a little bit. Again, I think that's out of character for Yannick Ngakoue. He is not Jalen Ramsey in that front. And I just think he knows, like, he can't pass up $18 million this season. He played for $2 million and risked it. Yeah. You got to play for $18 million. He can't do otherwise. And so I think he understands that. I just feel like, I gave you the examples. They have plenty of picks. They have to be blown away with a pick, with a trade. I also believe, and I think this is underplayed here in town, that Shad Khan, I believe, is not going to be put in the corner on this. I think Shad Khan is a player on this behind the scenes more than people believe, that he's going to power play this a little bit. And I think they're going to budget it. They have the cap space to be able to budget it. And I don't think they're going to just say, okay, you want out too? Go. And then the next guy wants out, okay, you go. I don't think they want to build that kind of thing here. I don't believe it. We'll see.
How about you build something where guys don't want out?
Well, that's fair enough. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
It's a
simple
fair
as
point.
that.
But just as hard as that's been to do, I think, if I'm the Jags, it's dangerous to say, okay, hey, agent, call up Shad Khan, Dave Caldwell, I want out of here. Okay, Jalen, see you. Hey, call up Shad and Dave, say, I want out of here, I don't like the coach here. Okay, Jan, see you. Who's next on the list?
Well, let's be honest. There's not really anybody left to do that.
Probably not, but it's
Leonard
dangerous.
Fournette, and one could say, are they going to re-sign him for that 5th-year deal? So everyone's pretty much gone as it is. So you're not really.
Well, I mean, you could get to Josh Allen though. You could end up with Miles Jack.
Yeah, but
any of those guys.
Well, Miles Jack just got paid.
Listen,
it's hard to justify. Come on.
I understand, but hey, I would just say this: if I had asked you 2 years ago, do you see it coming to this type of situation with Yannick Ngakoue? I think you would have said no.
Well, what did I say, though? I said, good luck with that if you don't pay him last year.
No, I'm talking 2 years ago. Prior to when he was in the Josh Allen kind of part of his contract.
I got you.
Or the Miles, Miles is a little bit different because he just got paid.
Yeah.
But you never know what turns it.
Yeah,
is essentially what I'm saying.
Yeah, I hear you. And it's crazy, man, because, I mean, he said it himself in that interview. Like, if the Jaguars would have paid him last year, and, like, listen, I don't know what Jan was commanding to get paid last year. One would think it's not over $20 million. So if you would have paid him the 19 or maybe the $20 million, I think you'd be fine right now. But he didn't get paid. He played out a season. Other guys got paid in front of him. And now he's over it. And listen, I understand that the trade may not go through Yannick Ngakoue. There's a really good chance, realistically, that he could still be on the Jacksonville Jaguars. But like I said, though, my biggest issue is that you're trying to turn this thing around now, okay? Like, you have a very young team. You're trying to turn over a new foot. I get it. You still have the same coaching staff and the same GM. but the plan is still to have like success this year. Okay, like that's not thrown out the window. And my only worry is that if you keep Yannick Ngakoue, and I get it, if you're Shad Khan, get stubborn, man. Put your feet in the ground and say you're not going anywhere until we get what we want for you. Fine. But the only issue is that the guy that's kind of been the staple in that locker room now for the past 3 or 4 years, he's going to be ticked off, and he's not going to be able to get moved. And I get it. Locker rooms, that happens all the time where guys want something, guys want this, guys want that. And no locker room can coexist wholeheartedly 100%, right? There's always going to be issues regardless of if you're a Super Bowl team or if you're an 0-16 team. You're always going to have your grievances. You're always going to have your issues. My biggest concern, though, is one of your leaders that's supposed to be on that team is going to have the issue, is going to have the grievance. And I just don't know how that's going to gel well with the 2020 season for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And I think it's a fair question, man. But the problem is, and we've all kind of been, I wouldn't say we're all here, but to some degree, I think many of us have been there in their own place of work or whatever where they're unhappy with something. But they really have no course of action other than to still work your butt off and go to work and punch the clock and all those things. And I think Ngakoue kind of fits that. It wouldn't do him any favors to not play or be a sour guy in the locker room. It would only hurt him. He needs to go have a monster year if he's playing on the franchise tag so he can get paid big time. So it would only hurt him to do any of that kind of stuff. As much as you'd like to be like double birds and screw you guys, and I've done this long enough, and you're not giving me what I'm worth. I get it. But I just don't know if it benefits him to at all do that in a football season.
No,
I don't know where he would come out a winner in that.
And listen, I understand Clowney's still looking for a new spot right now, too, and taking a pay cut. But at the same time, Clowney got what he wanted. Clowney wanted out of Houston. They traded him to Seattle, and he only had like 2-something sacks at the time, and he goes to Seattle. Like he still got what he wanted.
Well, that's Bill O'Brien.
Well, I mean, yeah, you could say that is Bill O'Brien for sure.
And some people will be like, well, this is the Jags.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, listen, sometimes you can still get what you want. Yeah, listen, it'll be interesting to see how this whole thing unravels here. Obviously, I think I agree with you. The deadline is going to be the draft. I just, man, I don't know. Like my gut is telling me that he should play on the franchise tag if he was still in Jacksonville. It's crazy to pass up that much money, and I'll be the first one to say that. I'm a very prideful individual myself, so I can see where he's coming from. But man, like the dude feels, I guess, threatened. The guy feels, like somebody lied to him. The guy just feels like he's not. Jacksonville's it's not a loyal spot. Okay, and I get it. $18 million, $19 million for a franchise tag, that's a lot of money, Brent, and nobody would probably turn that down. But loyalty and pride, man, it can make you do crazy things. And listen, I don't know what Yannick Ngakoue's financial situation is right now. I think he's doing okay.
Yeah,
I don't think he's going on GoFundMe saying, can you please support me? No, the guy's doing okay. So do I see him sitting out to make a point about his pride, about his loyalty? If any player was going to do it from that locker room, it would definitely be him. So I wouldn't be surprised, man, if he doesn't play on that franchise tag.
I got a question about the locker room dynamic. More on Jan, what he said. You'll hear from what he said on NFL Live just a short time ago. Jan talks, and he talks Jaguars. He wants out. That has not changed. But will he get out? That is the big question. I think many of us disagree on that front. We'll talk about it. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Your calls always welcome, 904-362-9901. How do you see this ending up with Yannick Ngakoue? We've gone this far. I mean, we've almost gone a calendar year of Jan. We need to build like a cutout of Jan here. I feel like he's just as much a part of the show as any of us.
Pretty much.
I really just want Jan to make a ton of money.
Sure.
Too. I really don't want him passing up $18 million. That's a lot of money.
Yeah. What, are you his cousin now? You trying to get a cut?
No, I just don't think it would be smart to do that.
I got you.
Pride, I know what he wants. I get pride and principle. I've been there before and might have even been burned by that before.
Sure.
Not to the tune of $18 million, though.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
It's coming up on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Warm today under partly sunny skies, the afternoon high in the mid-80s. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47, Fox 30, Action News Jacks from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
I'm not a big talker. I am a big doer. But sometimes the only way to solve the problem is to get on the horn and figure it out. So the only people I like talking to? Grainger. With knowledgeable product experts, ready with the answers to my toughest questions, calling Grainger is the one conversation I don't mind having. From machining and motor parts to valves and vacuum pumps. When it comes to solving my problems, Grainger's got my back. Call, click Grainger.com, or stop by to see for yourself. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax. Thanks for making ESPN 690 the fastest-growing sports station in Jacksonville. It was a lot of fun playing for the Jacksonville Jaguars for 3 years, and I'm having just the same amount of fun on the radio every single day with ESPN 690. So I'm reaching out to you to be part of our team and grow your business with ESPN 690. Give us a holler at 245-8732. That's 245-8732. We look forward to hearing from you and hope you join the team.
There's a place to share the joy of your team winning it all, and a place to share a laugh about skiing and taking a fall. There's a place to share photos of pets, or singing in the choir, or the time you ate a pepper and your mouth was on fire. But we could all be better at sharing how we're feeling inside. 76% of employees have struggled with at least one issue that affected their mental health. When you share, you're not alone. Ask about your company's emotional health benefits. Visit heart.org/sharing. Brought to you by the American Heart Association.
Hey boss, have you heard about Safe Touch? They're now offering a free health and wellness package with every Safe Touch system.
Health and wellness package? Actually, that sounds kind of nice.
Yeah, well, not for us crooks. You know the Safe Touch two-way communicator?
Of course I know the Safe Touch two-way communicator.
Yeah, so we already know that it's the best deterrent against, crooks like us, but it can also be like a 911 dispatcher for other emergencies.
Like medical emergencies.
Yeah, there's the two-way communicator, the emergency buttons, the smartphone app. It's all just extra peace of mind for Safe Touch customers.
Great. As if people need another reason to get Safe Touch.
Well, the good news is it's not going to change our Crooks R Us motto, stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Some things never change.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Glenn Levine from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. Our team can help you understand your legal options after an accident. We will file your claim and fight for the full compensation you deserve. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
CGC Water Treatment is celebrating Connecticut's 50th year anniversary with 50% savings for you. Purchase a Premier softener and save 50% off a K5, Connecticut's premier reverse osmosis system. When the shelves at the store are empty, it's a great feeling to have purified water right at home. Call 904-694-2242. Financing available with approved credit. Don't worry about needing bottled water. Call 904-694-2242 or visit cgcwater.com. Tell them Brent sent you. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At Ace, we always have been and always will be committed to our local communities because we're here to help others. So in this time of need, your local Ace remains open. And since we're in your neighborhood, we can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for the home or yard products you're looking for. And choose from top brands like Steel, Ego, Toro, and Scotts. Then you can pick up in-store, curbside, or we'll deliver your order right to your door. Help is just around the block. See acehardware.com for details.
Baby boomers and retirees, learn how to de-risk your retirement savings with less risk and higher returns. Secure your retirement income savings with zero downside market protection, plus earn upside market gain. Chuck Oliver, two-time best-selling author and wealth architect, is hosting a free and timely educational webinar. Visit retirementprotected.com. That's retirementprotected.com to schedule your webinar day and time. Chuck Oliver is helping baby boomers and retirees thrive in retirement. Visit retirementprotected.com.
Men, are the effects of hypertension, diabetes, or prostate cancer preventing you from having a satisfying love life? In just one visit, the doctors at Prime Men's Medical Center can help you overcome ED or PE to regain your confidence and have you last longer in the bedroom. Name brand pills don't work for many men and can have serious side effects. The highly skilled physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center provide custom blended medications that are safe, effective, and work immediately, regardless of your medical history or age. You'll see results on your first visit, guaranteed, or your consultation is free. So, if you have problems in the bedroom, call now for a private consultation. One call, one visit, one simple solution to regain your love life. Call Prime Men's Medical Center now at 904-206-8105. 904-206-8105. That's 904-206-8105.
Hey, it's Goose from Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Now, I know there's a ton of ways you can listen to the show, but did you know one of the ways is through a smart speaker? Yes, the Google Home, the Amazon Alexa. It's pretty easy to do. Just tell either of them to play ESPN 690. Try it out weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m., and you can listen to Action Sports Jacks.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
Getting sacks is a thing that people always harp on, getting sacks, but it's not about always getting sacks, it's about getting the ball out. And for a player that's on the defensive side of the ball to be able to get the ball out is basically making him an offensive player. And I look at myself as an offensive guy because any offense I play with, when they're in detrimental situations, they look at me to get the ball back. And if I can get the ball back for them, it just gives them another opportunity to be able to win the game for us. So that's another trait that I will bring to a new team is getting the ball out. Who doesn't love a forced fumble?
That's Yannick Ngakoue on NFL Live, showing his worth. Says he's a top 3 to 5 defensive end in the NFL. You agree with that?
Cleo Mack, Von Miller. I mean, I go for the cat from Tampa this year. I mean, 19.5 sacks are pretty good, man. So he's not top 3, I don't think.
I would say not too many people would consider Yannick Ngakoue top 3.
Top 10 for sure.
I think you could probably sneak in the top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if we're being real, if I was Yannick Ngakoue, I'd think I was top 3. Absolutely, and you should.
That's the mentality that you have to have.
No doubt. I have no problem with him saying that. I'm just saying in reality, where would you rank him in terms of... Now, listen, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I can never get past when we talk about ranks and stats and Yannick Ngakoue. The man just turned 25 years old last week. Last week. And he is second in franchise history in career sacks. Do I have to say that again? 37.5 career sacks is second all-time in franchise history. Now, that might be 8th on the list in Buffalo or Denver or somewhere else. But here in Jacksonville, it's second on the all-time list, and he's just turned 25. He's never played it down a football at the age of 25. That's hard to put your arms around and be like, yeah, let's get that guy out of here.
Hasn't even entered his prime yet.
Yeah, so it's like you've got to be so careful here. If you argue both sides of this, I want to make it perfectly clear. I want Jan here. I think I'm going to pat myself on the back. The best point I've made about the Jan situation and keeping him is that you have Josh Allen and Yannick Ngakoue at 25 years old or younger, and you have something that nobody in the league has. And by the way, if you add an offensive tackle this year in the draft at number 9 or 20, well, you now have bookend tackles on the offensive end, and you have bookend pass rushers on the defensive end. That's a hell of a way to start a football team as you try to rebuild this thing, and you have more players than that. You might even have a quarterback. So I think I want to make it perfectly clear. I'd love to see Jan here for the next 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, and I want to see him get a lot of money. I don't care what they pay him. It doesn't matter to me. I've always been the thing that has me on this one in particular is we haven't seen this. You know, Jalen was so different. We have not seen this. If you want to bring up Allen Robinson, yes, they didn't keep him, but even that was uniquely different in this situation. We have not seen something like this with this Jags organization. Mojo is the closest one to it, and that was almost a last-ditch effort for Mojo as you look back on it now. He had a chance to say, hey, get me paid. I know my time's running out, and that was probably the right thing to do for a running back in his situation, and that didn't work out. So this is so unique for Yannick and for the Jags. So that strikes me, that in the total lack of communication for as long as it went on, and kind of the ultimatum that the Jags eventually put down to say, hey, either take this or leave this. And then as we continue to talk about it, I think they used the Jan side kind of trumped in with all their stuff on the table too early in this deal. They had no leverage last year to play on that. He had to play on $2 million. And right now he's sitting there with very little leverage other than to get desperate and get out of here. Get me out of here. Please get me out of here. That's the phase he's in right now. I'm not criticizing him. I think it's the right move to try to do if you don't want to be here. But that's the facts. I mean, his clock is ticking if he really wants to get out of here, because this April 23rd date is a big date for Yannick Ngakoue. If he's not out of here by the weekend of draft weekend, well, he's in Jacksonville until at least September, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, oh, man. See, as I'm sitting here, because the mistake I'm making right now, Brent, is like, all right, can you get a first rounder for him? Can you get a first and a fourth for him? Can you get a first and a third for him? And that's where my mind keeps on going, like, what can you get for Yannick Ngakoue? And unfortunately, where I keep going back to is the atrocity that is the Houston Texans organization, because I look what Hopkins got. You know, a top three, maybe the best wide receiver in all of the NFL. And I get it, it's different positions, but Hopkins, Brent, you'll agree with me, he's one of the best wide receivers in the game, if not the best. Okay?
Absolutely.
And you get David Johnson and a second-round pick you gave up for him. So, like, that leads me to think, well, couldn't you just trade Yannick Ngakoue and, like, a second-round pick for DeAndre Hopkins? I would take that trade all day. So, like, I guess we'll see Clowney right now, and Clowney's not getting what he wants. Clowney's supposedly taking a pay cut, trying to ask for maybe 18, 19, possibly even $17 million now for his contract per year. To you, Brent, and we've talked about it before, but are you still from the standpoint where it's got to be a first and a fourth to get rid of it Ngakoue, or are you willing to be a little more lenient?
I'm not willing to. Listen, the 2 first rounders are ridiculous.
Not happening.
Okay?
Not happening.
That's fine if the Jags want to boast that and say, listen, because this is what I would do if I was the
Houston's
Jags.
feeling froggy.
Well, yes, you're right.
You know?
Or L.A.
or L.A. is feeling froggy.
But if I was the Jags, I'd be saying, wait a minute. Jan, you think you're a top 3 player. You want to be paid like a top 3 player. That's what you wanted to be. Well, we got 2 first rounders and a 4th rounder for a top 3 player at the cornerback position. Mm-hmm. The defensive end position is more valued position. Laramie Tunsil got this, because he's a left tackle and might be the top 2 or 3 at his position. That's why he got that. Yeah. Well, why can't we get this for you then? Like, why can't the Jags say that? So that's why they're publicly saying, or I don't think they've publicly said, but I think it's leaked out enough to say, hey, we're looking for a couple of first rounders here, right? We got that for Jalen. That's a good power move by the Jags. Well, here's the deal. That ain't happening. I mean, you're not going to do that. You're not going to get that. So what would you take? I wouldn't take any less now, Austin, than I would have taken a month and a half ago.
But I'm asking, what is it?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, I don't know what their thing is.
But I'm saying, what is your thing?
It definitely includes a first rounder.
Okay.
And it includes more.
Yeah.
Like whether that's player or other compensation, I don't know what the value is. I really don't.
Okay. But I'm saying
it just hasn't budged.
Okay, I got you. But let's say Ngakoue gets traded tomorrow. We come into this show. What's going to make you happy in this? Like, what's the least that can make you happy where it's like, you know what? The Jaguars got a pretty good deal for that, and I'm not mad at that idea.
That's a good question. How would I feel about it? Like those proposed trades that said, would the Giants give 2 second-round picks? I'd feel lukewarm about that. Mm-hmm. I really would. Mm-hmm. I don't. Again, this is just me in my mind.
Sure.
And face value, if you came back and said I got a first and something else, anything 4th or better, mm-hmm. because I consider that starter value, well, then I probably would say okay. Okay, you got a disgruntled player. It wasn't going to get any better. Mm-hmm. You actually save millions of dollars. I don't know if that's worth it. I'd rather have the player, but you'd save millions of dollars, and you now have even more ammunition to do what you want to do this year or next year in the draft. I would hope it would be more like a first and a third. Maybe it slips to a first and a fourth. I don't think I would take much less unless it's a player of big magnitude and some other draft picks that are included in that. I don't feel like if I don't see first rounder for Yannick Ngakoue, I don't feel that good. If you just let him walk, you would get a third-round tender a third-round compensatory pick. If you just let him walk.
Sure.
So you have to probably get that and a first-rounder for him, I would think, for the Jacksonville Jaguars. For me, for probably everybody in town to feel like, okay, well, he got what he wanted. That sucks he's gone. But at least the Jags now have this in terms of draft capital, and they can wave that in our face.
You know, you mentioned like Jalen Ramsey being one of the top 3 corners in the league. And obviously the Jaguars got compensated via that trade like he is one of the top 3 corners in the league. I think anybody would agree with me where 2 first-round picks would say that. And then we turn back and we say, well, Yannick Ngakoue claims he's a top 3 or a top 5 defensive end. Are the Jaguars going to get that? Absolutely not. And this comes back to the thing, and Ngakoue touched on it a little bit, and I actually talked about it last week a little bit, but it's the importance of sacks, Brent, right? Because, listen,
you did.
I just sat here and said I think Khalil Mack, Von Miller could be some of the top 5 defensive ends in the entire NFL. Do you know where Khalil Mack finished in terms of sacks last year for the NFL for National Football League? 27th.
Yeah.
Okay?
How many did he have?
He had 8.5. Von Miller, keep in mind, I think he had a little injury. He had 8. He finished 33rd. Okay, we got guys like...
So where did Jan finish? 33rd?
It would have been like 33rd as well.
Tied for 33rd.
Exactly. But then you have guys like Daniel Hunter from the Minnesota Vikings. How many people know who Daniel Hunter is? Okay? Well, guess what? That guy finished with 14.5. Okay? He was 4th in the league. Is he a top 5 guy? I would argue and say probably not. So my point is... we tie this, you know, and I get it. You know, like Clowney had 3.5 sacks last year. He's not getting paid. Coincidence? I think not. We tie so much to that sack number, Brent, all right? We tie so much to the ability to drag the quarterback down when he has the ball. But I think sometimes teams fail to realize the pressures, the strip sack fumbles, just the causes of chaos in the backfield. We always talk about 3 techniques. What can he do? Well, he gets off the ball really well, causes chaos in the backfield. We never talk about that for defensive ends. For defensive ends, all it comes down to is sacks. Not saying it's the right thing, not saying it's the wrong thing. I'm just saying that's the way it is. And I just wonder sometimes if teams put so much, of a price tag on sacks where they don't really see the big picture of an overall defensive end.
Yeah, and well, you could be right, but I think the price tag on sacks and also forced fumbles that he brought up, I think benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think, again, we're going to get back to this run game stuff. I'm not heavy on the run stuff, okay? I think he did have his best year on that. But if you are then going to go outside the sack realm and the forced fumble realm, well, then you are going to go to the run. And how does he do against the run and those kind of things? And I think then you'd start questioning whether is he up there with the Von Millers and the Khalil Macks and others. I think his stock drops a little bit in that category. I just think that's undeniable. But I don't look at it that way. I think it is a sack stat. And that's where these guys get paid. If you're looking at the highest paid guys, right? Aaron Donald, DeMarcus Lawrence, Frank Clark, Trey Flowers, Cameron Jordan, D. Ford, Olivier Vernon, Fletcher Cox, Grady Jarrett is number 9 at $17 million a year. Here's the bottom line. Have we not given the Jags any credit? It's going to sound weird, and I'm not trying to play their side of it, but it does make you think. If they offered $17 or $18 million last year, were they actually in the right neighborhood? I mean, Clowney can't get it. Well, the only guys that are above $18 million, Trey Flowers is at 18, Frank Clark, DeMarcus Lawrence, and Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald's on a different planet, right?
Of course.
And by the way, linebackers are not totally in this category, too, so that would put the Von Millers and Khalil Macks up there. But I just don't. I mean, Clark and Lawrence are hurting guys like Clowney and Ngakoue instead of helping. See, when they signed those deals, it was like, you will help those guys out because you raised the price tag. Not this year. They're hurting them because where did they end up in the sack numbers? 26, 27, 29th, places like that. And we paid them $20 million a year to do that. Teams are like, whoa. Right? And that's what happened. Again, none of us saw that coming. Jan didn't see that coming. I don't think any of us saw that coming. Heck, I don't really want to give the Jags that much credit that they saw that coming. But the bottom line is, a year later, an offer for 17, 18, if it got up to $19 million, is actually not that far off.
It's not.
And it might be in the right neighborhood.
Well, and the biggest mistake, though, Brent, we talk about all the time, DeMarcus Lawrence got 20, okay? Frank Clark got 20. And it doesn't matter where you think, Ngakoue should have got paid. His peers got paid more than him. So if you're a player, that's the first thing you point to. That's the first thing I would have done. And, we want to talk about how much, unfairly do teams value, those sack numbers. Well, who played in the Super Bowl this past season? The 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Eric Armstead was the leading sack, guy from both those teams.
10.5, right?
Do you know where he finished? 10. Finished 15th.
Yeah. And he just got a $17 million deal, I think
exactly.
It was.
But he finished 15th with 10 sacks total. And he was in the Super Bowl. Okay, so I can name these other guys who were ahead of him, but guess what? They didn't go there.
Yeah.
So it kind of goes to show you the importance of, getting after the quarterback and bringing him down.
And by the way, I get what Jan's side's saying. If Eric Armstead just got what he got, and look at his resume, he's got like 19 career sacks, and he's played 4 years. So, fine. I mean, he might be a nice player, and he's coming on. But
Eric Armstead's also a 3-4. I mean, he was more of the big defensive tackle type than he was defensive end. The guy was 300 pounds. He's a big dude.
It's not like the Jan edge guy.
Yeah.
I get it. But I think if we're looking at sack guys, right, if we're playing sack totals, I just would say, hey, put me on the list. Where do my 37.5 rank?
Yeah.
Vic Beasley just got a 1-year deal for $10 million. There's got to be more going on there because he did it over 5 years and that, I think, $37.5 million. So, again, I would use those numbers. I mean, Clark and Lawrence, I would use those numbers. The problem is it's harder to use those numbers because immediately the team right now would come back and be like, they had 8 sacks. Looks like they overpaid. We don't want to do that. We don't want to get ourselves in that situation.
Yeah.
So what's interesting here is even take the Jags out of it, much like Seattle with Clowney right now, or anybody with Clowney who's a free agent, is why aren't people biting to pay these guys? And that might be just as difficult as the trade piece for the Jags. Yeah, the Jags want a lot in return. But who's willing to dance on the negotiation table right now with Yannick Ngakoue if he's still looking for more money than teams are willing to pay?
And this kind of goes back to my point where we kind of talked about a little bit where if Ngakoue was to have a bad attitude, right? You're from the philosophy that if he does sign he did sign the franchise tag, but if he's on the franchise tag and he plays, he has to act accordingly, right? Because people are watching him. This is kind of like his audition tape because he's under the tag. Team's going to be like, well, he's still being a great teammate in Jacksonville. Let's trade for him and let's make a move right now. On the other side of the coin, though, is the fact that if he was to be miserable and if he was to have a bad attitude and, maybe try to bring the team down a little bit, Brent, he's not trying to audition for 30 teams or 31 teams. He's auditioning for one
Just
team.
needs one.
All he needs is one, and all he needs is one desperate one. And more than likely, any team, say he's on the Jaguars for the regular season, any team that trades for Ngakoue is a team that's probably going to have, number one, good culture, and number two, is going to be in the running to go to the playoffs, right? Because you don't make that trade unless you have all your other pieces in place, and Ngakoue can put you over the hump. So I think from Ngakoue's standpoint, you don't necessarily have to be a good soldier and act accordingly. You can kind of do whatever you want because your suitors will come calling regardless. I promise you that. They came calling for Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
They're going to come calling for Yannick Ngakoue as well.
Yeah, that's a great point. I want you to talk real quick about the locker room part of it.
Yeah.
Because I listen, players understand players' business. They get it. That's fine. I don't think there was any bigger cheerleader for Jan to get paid and things to happen the right way than like a guy like Calais Campbell, right? Sure. I think guys root for guys to get paid, especially when they see guys work and they know kind of what kind of worker he is.
I think everybody in that locker room wants to see Yannick Ngakoue get paid.
How are they feeling about the situation right now, though? And when does that change a little bit to the point you were talking about? Because a year ago, not even a year ago, maybe it was close to a year ago, around OTA time, Jan was saying, hey, I want to be a leader on this team. I want to be a leader. Now, that was before it reached a crescendo where it all fell apart. And I'm not saying he didn't want to be a leader, but he wanted to be. He wanted to take that ownership. I think that was another show to the team. Like, listen, I want to be the guy. So pay me like I'm the guy. But then it all fizzled out. So what's the locker room feeling? What do you think as they're watching all this unfold and he's still on their team? And then when do you get to the point, and this is a little different year because of all this going on right now. We might not have OTAs or anything like that. But when do you get to the point like, all right, dude, put your business aside. Like, we get it, but put your business aside. We need you. Like, I'm in this locker room to win. Like, you know, I understand you want to be a part of a winning culture, but we need you, if you're going to be here, to help change the culture.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think one of the biggest attributes an NFL player can have, and I don't care if you're a second-year guy or if you're a 10-year vet, I've seen this in all shapes, background sizes, and beliefs, but football players have a fantastic ability to separate the team goals, the team dynamic from business. And right now, we're in the off season. We're in the business side of it, right? So when Ngakoue's guys are in the locker room and then they're seeing, well, they're not in the locker room, obviously, but when Ngakoue's teammates from the Jaguars are at home, they're watching NFL Live, they're going on Twitter, obviously, they're hearing people talk, they all know what's going on, all right? And for the most part, I think they all understand it. Because at the end of the day, whether Ngakoue is going to be in Jacksonville or be someplace else, you want to see your brother get paid. That's the most important thing. Number one, you want to see your brother be happy is number one probably. But number two, you want to see him get paid. So right now, obviously, I think his teammates want to see him get paid. But yeah, they love to have him there, right? Because it hasn't necessarily set in yet, Brent. Because they're rooting for the business side of it. We haven't started the season side of it yet. We haven't started building the goals, talking about what we want to do in the division. That hasn't started yet. That's going to start, hopefully during OTAs and minicamp. We don't know what everything going on right now, so we'll see when that actually kicks back up. But that's when you start saying, like, all right, is Ngakoue going to be here? Is he going to be gone? And keep in mind, if he's not going to be around, and if he's going to, hold out and do all this stuff and not show up, well, then you have guys like Josh Allen. Josh Allen had a fantastic rookie campaign. Couldn't have been better. Everyone's excited for Josh Allen. I'm excited for Josh Allen. You should be excited for Josh Allen. He's going to be the sheriff of New Sac City. Mark it down right now. But here's the thing with Josh.
Jan went out a piece of that.
Yeah, but here's the thing with Josh Allen, though, Brent. He had Calais Campbell last year, and he had Yannick Ngakoue for the majority of the season. Those guys are gone now. Right? It's like we saw Leonard Fournette post that meme of Fresh Prince standing in the yeah. But that's kind of how it is, man. Because Josh Allen is a fantastic football player already. He still has a long ways to go, though. This guy could be elite. Who's going to teach him at the defensive line? I get he has coaches, but who on the defensive line is going to teach him now if Ngakoue is gone? Smoot? Avery Jones? Who?
Yeah, nobody.
Exactly. So that's going to have an effect on Josh Allen, who's supposed to be the big guy going forward, all right? Now, Josh Allen is mature and wise beyond his years, and he knows how to approach his craft, and that's one thing. But not having that camaraderie, not having that guy that you can kind of tie your wagon to a little bit, like Calais Campbell, like Ngakoue, that can be detrimental to your development as a player.
That's a really good point.
So we'll talk about Josh Allen, all our excitement. We'll keep in mind of his development, too, if Ngakoue is going to be gone, and obviously Calais Campbell already being gone as well.
Not only that, just the teaming up so the attention goes somewhere else other than Josh Allen.
Exactly.
So from a football standpoint there. I'm not done with it. I got a strange question. And I've had this question answered over and over in the negative. I'm still going to ask it again next on ESPN 690.
See, very intrigued by the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.
Put this on the poll. More annoying phrase, having said that, or I will say this? Jeff Van Gundy loves I will say this instead of just saying it, and we just heard you said that, so I don't need you to tell me that you have said it.
I think it's listen. Thanks, Mike.
Stugatz's biggest verbal crutch is listen.
That is true. The Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugats on ESPN Radio and ESPN News.
Hey, boss, check out this headline. Safe Touch Security. Your health and safety are all we do.
Safe Touch again? Is that all you ever talk about?
Boss, your mom still has a Safe Touch security system, right?
That is correct. Don't make any comments.
No, I can't blame you. Having a Safe Touch system is like having a halo of protection surrounding her.
Exactly. For instance, let's say, God forbid, that she needed the fire department.
Not to worry, Safe Touch can respond.
Or let's say she stubbed her toe, the mother of all toe stubs, and she couldn't get to the phone.
Safe Touch can contact emergency toe fixes.
I never thought I'd say this, but I'm glad Safe Touch is out there.
Boss!
I know, but that doesn't mean we don't stick to the Crooks of us motto. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Looking for a different lunch experience? Come dine with us on Fridays at Clara's at the Cathedral, located at 256 East Church from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Treat yourself weekly to an upscale menu, live entertainment, and fellowship with friends and colleagues you don't want to miss. Call and reserve your seat or table today at 354-4162 or log on to clarawhitemission.org. All proceeds benefit the Clara White Mission.
It's never been more important to stay connected, and T-Mobile has taken major steps to make life easier for their customers during this critical time. For example, they effectively doubled their powerful 600 MHz LTE network capacity. Plus, T-Mobile lifted customer smartphone data caps and increased access to hotspot tethering service for 2 months. One of the really cool things they're doing is increasing data allowance for schools and students in their Empower Ed program, so kids can keep up with their schoolwork. They've also donated $500,000 to Feeding America. The Feeding America food banks serve as a critical service for local communities, ensuring families impacted by this crisis don't go hungry. And while many T-Mobile stores are closed and most of their customer care team is juggling working from home while caring for families, they ask that you please go to T-Mobile.com to manage your account, make payments, and learn more about what T-Mobile is doing to help keep you connected. Stay safe.
We here at J. David Tax Law wanted to let our community know that we are here to help individuals and businesses with tax debt issues during the coronavirus event. The United States government has issued a $2 trillion economic stimulus package. The IRS has been tasked with collecting an unprecedented amount of tax debt to fund this historic initiative. If you owe a tax debt, there are new programs available that can help reduce or eliminate your IRS or sales tax burden. These programs expire on July 15th, 2020. So if you have federal or sales tax debt, payroll taxes, bank levies, wage garnishments, tax liens, or unfiled returns, we are here for you and your family. Call J. David Tax Law now for a no-cost consultation at 904-507-4777. That's 904-507-4777. Or go to jdavidtaxlaw.com. Greater peace of mind is only a click or a phone call away.
Our normal way of life has been changing quickly due to coronavirus. New rules to follow, and basically all sports have been put on hold. Heck, you might even be working from home. Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martineau. If you're not in the car from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m., check in on Action Sports Jacks on your smart speaker. Tell your Amazon Echo or Google Home to play ESPN 690.
Hey, it's Mike Golick from Golick & Wingo. You're listening to Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane. Give the guys a call. Grab your cell phone and call *690. This is ESPN 690.
First is first, I just want to give a special shout out to the first responders. They're doing a tremendous and great job right now with this pandemic we're going through. And also, what happened between me and Jacksonville is very simple. The organization had the opportunity to keep me long-term last offseason, and things kind of broke off. So, everything happens for a reason, and not everything lasts forever. Things come to an end, and it's time for me to move on to the next chapter of my career. And I'm forever thankful for what Jacksonville has brought to me and my family, but it's time to move on.
That is Yannick Ngakoue on NFL Live. Happened this afternoon just before our show. And, I'm telling you, we're sending Yannick Ngakoue an edible arrangement.
God, those go hard. Those are good stuff.
A fruit basket.
Yeah.
Flowers. Whatever he wants.
I don't think he wants flowers.
Probably not.
Probably an edible arrangement. More than flowers, right?
Maybe a ESPN 690 bandana.
Now we're talking maybe ESPN 690 T-shirt and hat. Matching combo.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he wants all that.
No.
But we might send him a little gift pack whenever this is over.
Sure.
For at least a thank you for content.
Yeah.
In times like these.
Absolutely. Yeah. But did you find it kind of funny that he said he's open to any team? Because, I get it, man. You have the luxury now because you're not in the most prime of positions, but obviously you want to keep the phone lines open to all suitors. But like if I was him, man, it's gonna be a wide 9 or nothing. Okay, it's gonna be a wide 9 or just don't even bother. It's gonna be a wide 9 or lose my agent's number.
So Eagles,
okay. Eagles, 49ers.
49ers.
I don't know if the Lions are still running. I mean, listen, we talk about the wide 9 defense all the time. There's shades of that sprinkled throughout every NFL team, especially in like the nickel packages. Even the Jacksonville Jaguars have shown that a little bit. But primarily what makes the wide 9 different from every other defense that teams run is the fact that the wide 9 is kind of like their base defense, right? So in Jacksonville, where you're accustomed to seeing the big end like you've seen for the past couple years, well, in Philadelphia and even now in San Francisco a little bit, you're seeing more the ends out wide. So basically, you can just pull your ears back and get to the quarterback.
We'll see what happens in that regard. By the way, we want to let you know about something we're working on with Feeding Northeast Florida, and we're doing it in conjunction with everybody at the TV side and here on the radio side as well, and it's a virtual food drive. So hopefully you can help us out. Hashtag Jackson This Together, and virtual food drive to benefit Feeding Northeast Florida. The easiest way to participate is to go to ESPN690.com, and you can get the information there and find out. It'll direct you to the appropriate places. But $40 provides 10 snack packs to children in need. $100 helps provide 4 family boxes, and $250 helps provide 10 family boxes in need. You can donate any amount, by the way, $5 or $500. We are looking to put together this virtual food drive for Feeding Northeast Florida in these difficult times, and hopefully in conjunction with all our other radio stations here at Cox Media Group and CBS 47 and Fox 30, you'll help us out and help the community as well. I know so many people are struggling right now, and so many people are helping others right now as well. So more information on ESPN690.com. Hope you can help us and participate. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Coos here on a Tuesday. A few minutes to go until the top of the hour. Jason Fitz, Fitz in the tantrums. We're going to get another tantrum coming on.
Fitz in the tantrum, maybe. I like
a
it.
little bit.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Trademarked.
All right. I'm going to ask a question.
I guess it's not trademarked because it's already the band's name. Sorry. What am I thinking?
Trademarked in a segment.
Yeah. Yeah, what's the question here?
And really, I just like to use this word once in a while.
Okay. Flexing.
Is this irreparable?
And I blacked out.
Have we done irreparable harm?
And I'm blacked out. What?
Can it be fixed?
No, I know what irreparable means. I was kidding, dude.
Oh, okay.
Come on, man.
I was just helping out. You never know how many concussions you had, all those things.
Oh, I've had a baker's dozen.
So listen, logic says no.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I'm going to get a lot of folks in response to be like, no way, man, it's done. Listen to what he's saying. Yeah, I get it. I still think you always, and I've said this since day one on this deal, you always hold out hope that something can get done and something will be done. And so I'm not convinced anymore the Jags are going to say, hey, here's $19.5 million or here's $20.5 million, and that will fix it, right? Because I think the consensus, the thought here is, hey, you can pay him $24 million, it doesn't matter. He wants out. But is there room to repair if you can't get him out? If he doesn't get his way by the draft and doesn't end up on a team, and the Jags pretty much tell him, much like he has done social media-wise and everywhere else, and says, I want out, and the Jags say, listen, we don't care what we get right now. You're not moving. We're keeping you here. So play on the tag or not, or let's go back to the table and make you rich. Why can't you do that if you're the Jags?
I want to ask you this question, though, and this is more from Yannick Ngakoue's perspective, all right? I guess you're kind of the team right now. I'm the player. Do you think that it helps the Jaguars or it hurts the Jaguars in terms of Yannick Ngakoue, the fact that they retained Dave Caldwell and head coach Doug Marrone? Because the short answer I'm thinking is obviously it helps, right? Because Doug Marrone's been a big advocate of Ngakoue since day one.
I don't think,
and so is Caldwell.
I would say Jan doesn't have anything wrong, anything against Marrone. I'm not sure. I think Caldwell, I think that's a different situation. I think that's considered front office. That's Shad Khan, Tony Khan, Tom Coughlin, Dave Caldwell. They're all the same person in in a negotiation.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
So I think that's different. Marone, no doubt. I don't think Jan would say anything bad about Marone. I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't heard that yet. I don't think the same would be true for Caldwell. I think he views Caldwell right now as the villain because that's the guy that either isn't answering calls or isn't giving him a better offer or getting him out of here.
See, and I think the reason I say this is because I think we underestimate, and if you go back to the interview when he said what he's looking for in a team, he didn't mention money. Now, maybe that's just the fact that he's not trying to be selfish. He's trying to come across as a team guy, and that very well could be. But he mentioned winning, okay? And let's not get it twisted. Winning and losing is everything in the NFL. If you're on losing teams, it's miserable, man. It's not a fun environment to be around. Try winning 2 games in one season and then get back to me and see what it does for your mental stability, all right?
Yeah.
See what it does for your psyche. It's not fun. And Ngakoue had one great year, obviously, in 2017. But besides that, it's been a lot of miserable stuff. Now, one could think, well, then maybe you want to stick around. Maybe you want to turn around, and maybe you want to be at the forefront of that. And I think that's kind of how he felt 2017, right? He's like, we went this far. Look what we did. Let's keep riding the ship. Well, then what happened in 2018? They go downhill. It snowballs, and now we're back at ground zero again. And we're trying to build a foundation. And I just don't think Ngakoue wants to be part of, I guess, quote-unquote, a second foundation. So the reason why I asked the question was because if you were to bring in a new coaching staff or even a new GM, would Ngakoue be like, well, you know what? We have new guys here now. They have a different, change of culture. They have a different change of, I guess, like way they're going to run things. And I want to be a part of this. I want to see this through. No, I get it. Doug Marrone has said wholeheartedly he's going to change things around, as he should, because a lot of that was Tom Coughlin. But I wonder if it's just too late because Ngakoue is seeing the same faces. He's seeing Dave Caldwell in the office. He's seeing Doug Marrone every single day, when he's going to meetings. I just wonder if it's too late, and I wonder if they would have went with a complete new regime, a complete makeover, if that would have swayed Ngakoue to the other side.
Yeah, that's a good call. I would say it would have helped.
Yeah,
I would say at least because you start from scratch.
Yeah,
there's too many bad feelings with the front office side of the building. Doesn't matter who's sitting in the chair. Like I said, Coughlin. I wondered that, and I think I've said that many a times on the show. Wait a minute, they fired Coughlin. If Coughlin was kind of the face of why the culture was bad for Jalen Ramsey, Yannick Ngakoue, and others, well, then isn't that a good move in the positive direction for Yannick Ngakoue and his camp?
Correct.
It doesn't seem like it comes across that way. Never did. In fact, it might have got worse, from Jan's standpoint. That's when he started after the season, kind of being a little bit more vocal or more cryptic, all those things. So it didn't help. So I would say, yeah, maybe it would have helped.
Yeah.
Maybe it would have helped if they had cleaned house. I'm not sure it would have definitely kept them, but I would say it would help more than it is.
I get it. Exactly. And then
Nothing's helping.
That's just the point I was getting at.
Matthew, by the way, says, I'm with Brent. 91 knows the clock is ticking leading up to the draft. He's going to be forced to sign that franchise tag and not pass up that $18 million. He's desperate. Thanks, Matthew. I really need as much help as I can get.
Yeah, you do. He's already signed it, though, right? I mean, he's tagged. Like, he
hasn't signed it.
Okay.
No, he hasn't signed it yet. Derrick Henry signed it, but he has been tagged by the team, and you have a deadline to sign it.
Gotcha.
That part will come up. That'll be another deadline. I really hope Minshew is good, as the Twitter handle says. I want to be a part of a team with a winning culture. This guy says a lot of us do, so why not stick around, get paid, and build a winning culture? The Warriors ruined it for everyone. I think that's listen, I understand people go there with the take.
The Warriors ruined. Well, keep in mind, the Warriors got Draymond Green, Steph Curry, and Klay Thompson in the draft.
I know.
All right.
But they built the culture and kind of started it over, is the point.
Okay, I got you.
And Jan was a part of that in 16, 17 to kind of be the building block. Guys like Telvin Smith and Jalen Ramsey and even Leonard Fournette, they were proud of that.
Yeah.
And now it's going back down.
But here's why you're not the Warriors, though, man. Because Klay Thompson, gone. Because Draymond Green, gone. Well, I guess I'm comparing Yannick Ngakoue to Steph Curry. Steph Curry's gone, Draymond Green's gone, and Klay Thompson is left.
John V says, let him sit. More Yannick Ngakoue in a bit, but coming up next, Jason Fitz here on ESPN 690.
WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
Hey, Jacksonville, it's Brent Martineau. It's a tough time for everyone right now, and we hope you and your families are staying safe and healthy. Our friends at Bold City Heating and Air want me to let you know that they are here if you need them. As many of us now call our office home, the summer heat has also arrived. Temperatures are climbing. If you find yourself in need of an emergency with your AC unit, Bold City Heating and Air wants you to know that they have a crew standing by and on call to help. Mirza and his staff at Bold City Heating and Air are there for you. Call 904-379-1648 or visit them at boldcityac.com.
For the ones standing guard, for the eagle-eyed, for the knights in shining armor, and for all those who support them. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, plus free access to specialists who have the knowledge and experience to answer your toughest questions. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This message is sponsored by the Florida A&M University Medical Marijuana Education and Research Initiative, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
Where I'm from, marijuana is legal. Can I use it in Florida? Nah, it's illegal here, man. But I have PTSD. Should I at least try to get medical marijuana?
That's legal. But if I were you, I'd talk to my doctor about qualifying conditions and to find out if medical marijuana is even right for you.
Thanks. I'll talk to my doctor.
First Coast No More Homeless Pets Veterinary Hospital provides premium veterinary care for less. 7 days a week, a full range of services with compassionate care. Pet owners shouldn't have to choose between paying bills or a healthy pet. Call 425-0005, 425-0005, or fcnmhp.org.
Wash your hands, avoid sick people, and touching your face. There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. Brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
It's time for some straight talk. You know what a full court press is in basketball, right? Full defensive coverage with no holes. Well, that's the kind of coverage you get with Straight Talk Wireless. It runs on America's best 4G LTE networks, same as the big carriers, but just for a lot less. Just $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data, then 2G, saving you up to half the cost of the big carriers. No contract. Full court coverage, half the cost. Straight Talk Wireless, everything for less. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
This is the Frells family. They live on a piece of land they call greener pasture, and they work on it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1 Series tractor. With its durable construction and features that hook up to dozens of attachments with ease, no job is too tough. The Frells family runs with us, because this is more than just land. It's home. Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 1 Series tractor for just $99 per month at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
What type of team would I love to join is a team that has great culture. I really want to be a part of a team that has great culture and winning is a habit. I don't want to be part of a team where losing is a norm or anything of that nature. I want to be part of something special. Also, I just want to go to a place where the community, I can make a great impact in the community and just reach out to younger people that look up to me.
That's Yannick Ngakoue on NFL Live. And by the way, I don't think those are just throw-in words for Yannick Ngakoue. He comes from a tough area. I think he already does and has give back to the Jacksonville community. I think he wants to continue to do that. I think that's important to him. So I don't think those were just words. I think he lives that and wants to be that. Especially the more money he makes, he'll be able to do that even more so and help others out. The part now that he says is really kind of the shot, I guess, at the Jags, but I don't even look at it as a shot. I mean, it's reality. Jags haven't won in forever. I mean, they won once in 17, but that's it. So I don't think it's a shot to say, bad culture, not winning culture, losing culture. It is what it is. But what's interesting is, so where do you go? How many teams do you eliminate if you say, I only want to go to a winning culture? And again, I think it's kind of humorous to a degree because I'm not sure how much of a choice Ngakwe's going to have here and where he goes. I mean, the team will end up deciding if they get what they want in return. Now, the sides can work together to navigate a trade. We don't believe that's happened yet. But so, much like Calais Campbell, you can find him a spot like he ends up in Baltimore with a chance to win rather than, say, the Dolphins who are rebuilding. You can do those kind of things. I don't see that playing out with that as a top priority for Yannick Ngakoue finding a winning team.
Listen, Yannick Ngakoue is going to go wherever's going to take him. That's the beauty of the NFL, right? I mean, that's just the way it works. He has no say of where he goes. But keep in mind, a team's not going to sacrifice draft capital, at least at this stage right now in the season, or in the preseason, should I say, if they don't have a chance to win a Super Bowl, okay? Like teams that are rebuilding, like the Miami Dolphins, you have to rebuild through the draft. You don't rebuild by going after high-priced free agents. So right now, in my opinion, the only teams that are actually interested in Yannick Ngakoue are the teams that are in contention. Teams that are in contention usually have good coaching and good culture.
I think you're right. That's a good call. That's a really good call, except I would say this. I think teams like Cincinnati could be in play. Like, I would think they would be in play. See, they don't have a ton of draft capital, so maybe not. But I know but they want to do it fast. And he's 25. He's better than anybody you're going to pick up in the draft outside of Chase Young. This is not a good pass rusher draft. So if I was Cincinnati and I needed that, I'm just using Cincinnati as an example, a team that's really been a bottom feeder for the most part. They're not considered a winning culture, if you will, although they did make the playoffs a lot of times in a row. They just couldn't win in the playoffs. I would think they would be a team that would probably fit outside what you're saying. I think for the most part, you're right, but you could get a team that, even the Dolphins, they've spent too much money on defense. I don't think they're going to go there right now.
There's no way, yeah.
But if they're trying to fix it quick, you're getting a 25-year-old guy, and you plan on having him for 4 or 5 years, well, that fits your window because most teams are trying to rebuild it now and bam, a year or two, not 4 or 5 or 6.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it would be interesting. But even Buffalo, is Buffalo a winning culture team? I guess they are the last 3 years.
Absolutely.
They were miserable for 20-something years.
No, absolutely. But I think the past couple of years, listen, back in 2017, the Bills and the Jaguars played each other in the playoffs. One team has gradually gotten better since then, and one team has gone down in the dumps. And you know who those teams are, and you know where those teams went. So I think Buffalo right now, especially with Tom Brady being out, they're my favorite in that division.
Yeah, they should be too.
Why? I mean, me personally, I think their culture is right where it needs to be.
Yeah, so is Tampa Bay a winning culture or not?
Oh, well, hey, what's up, Saints? hey, what's up, Saints?
I'm saying Tampa, though. They got a guy in Brady now.
Yeah, but I'm saying, are they going to win? They'll win. But will they beat the Saints?
Let's see what this guy has to say. We bring in Jason Fitz from ESPN. First take, your take, 1 to 3 here on ESPN 690. Hope you and your family are doing well. Jason, what's happening, man?
Just living the dream, gentlemen. You guys are having a great discussion, and I think you're making really valid points about Yannick Ngakoue and where he's going to go. And I'm just going to chime right in. I think what this all comes down to is a clear set direction from a franchise. And that's the hardest thing for, I think, fans to accept is what do you do when you're not sure what your team is trying to accomplish? If the answer is rebuild, then rebuild the whole dang thing. And if the answer is try and win, then desperately try and win, but you can't live in the middle ground. And that's what so many teams try to do that I think is really ineffective.
Jason Fitz with us here on ESPN 690. Do you think he's going about it the right way, Jason? I know we've talked a little bit about Yannick with you here on the show, but he's been very vocal the last couple of weeks on social media. He goes on NFL Live today with ESPN, and I don't think he really bashed anybody. I think he said what basically he's been saying. I think he represented himself well. Is he going about it the right way? Because what we've said in the last hour is the clock is ticking, and there's no doubt if he wants out, he's getting desperate because the draft is a huge milestone day when it comes to trades or anything else in terms of moving from one team to another.
Well, and also keep in mind the limitations we now know exist for the draft. And this is an important thing. I don't think people are focused enough on the difficulties that a virtual draft is going to create. Remember, your favorite team's coach, GM, owner, staff, scouts, assistant coaches, each of those gentlemen are going to be in their own home. So the ability to communicate when you're on the clock, I think is going to be tougher than ever. And, I heard Scott Van Pelt last night on SportsCenter say jokingly, well, what if they have a thunderstorm in Jacksonville and the internet goes down? And, it's a funny proposition, but that's part of why I think Giannis has to be very aggressive right now, because if you are a player that thought that the draft was going to be where you got traded, understand that trades are going to be more difficult than ever. I said it today on First Take Your Take. If you're, in my case, Mike Mayock talking to John Gruden as a fan, well, is he on the phone with John or Mark Davis, or are they on a video conference call? And in the meantime, if there's 4 teams calling at once to try and trade up for a draft spot, how is he taking all of those calls at once while they're on the clock? There's going to be difficulty in execution of the draft. So I think Ngakoue is going to get louder leading up, because if he leaves it to that day, the schematics of the draft might make it really difficult for him to get traded.
And especially, we're putting way too much credit right now on GMs and head coaches being able to use Skype or Zoom. Okay, like my stepdad would be lost to use Skype right now. I come from a defensive line coach back in Jacksonville who would throw like those Microsoft Air surfaces on the sidelines, like slam them because he couldn't operate them. I just have a hard time believing 32 teams with 32 kind of old school guys trying to operate a Zoom or like a Windows tablet. I think it's going to be a nightmare. Jason, your thoughts?
You're 1,000% right. And look, I laughed at it, again, being a Raiders fan. Mike Mayock's daughter actually went to Twitter to make fun of her dad trying to figure out technology before the draft, which is funny until you realize that the next 4 to 5 years of your franchise could hinge on that ability. And we also saw, Harbaugh already came out and said he's concerned about, the safety of it, in a sense of, will other people, other teams, even fans, try and hack into some of these Zoom calls and things like that. So in a very paranoid league where they're now being asked to rely on technology. And then, like Mike Golan Jr. and I have been doing these shows together where we're using Zoom for a lot of broadcasts. There's a difficult moment where, like, sometimes the internet will just have a little hiccup, and all of a sudden I think I know what he said, but I'm not sure. And I'm imagining what that moment is like if you're trying to tell your owner that you're going to draft a player and it keeps cutting out on the name that he's telling you. So, there's no easy solution for this.
Jason, we saw Adam Schefter last week, kind of go on this little bit of a rant, and it was weird to see because Adam Schefter's always the guy that just kind of reports the news, doesn't really have a personality, doesn't really offer his opinions, but he was very adamant in saying that the NFL should not have the NFL draft right now, and they should actually, hold it back until things are cleared up a little bit. What do you think? Do you think it's irresponsible of the NFL to have the draft right now on the due date, or should they wait kind of like everybody else is waiting right now?
I believe you forge ahead. And, the reason you forge ahead is because we've talked about it before. It's really a series of business transactions, right? Mm-hmm. So you're right that and I've made the point that it's going to be difficult to communicate. But don't you also have to at some point trust the scouting staff that's been watching for months and months and months? If they've been doing their jobs, they should be able to come in and figure out a way to at least have their talent evaluated. You're going to find out which front offices are the most organized, but ultimately, this is all about money. I mean, the captive audience they're going to get for this draft is going to be massive because, frankly, everybody's thirsty for anything that we could possibly get. So, I understand the league going forward with it. And, while it may hurt some mid-round draft picks, I just don't, they're collateral damage to the greater good of what the NFL is trying to accomplish.
That's a very good point. I mean, that's reality, whether you like it or not. Jason Fitz with us on ESPN 690. You know what I really think will happen, though, and I wonder if this will be beneficial to some teams, because we've heard all the horror stories over the years of the Jags, and not more recently, but if you go back 12, 15 years ago, it used to be an emotional draft room. Mm-hmm. I think this will take a lot of the emotion out of it. You've got these alpha dog kind of personalities in the same room together, billionaire owner, GM, head coach, all these egos, right? And sometimes they clash. Hey, that guy's on the board. Let's go jump at him or whatever. Sure. That might take a little bit out. You might stick to your plan more than you normally would stick to your plan, Jason.
Oh, yeah. Well, and you're going to trust the tape more than you've ever trusted the tape. And that, that could actually be a really good thing. There's less opportunity for certain people to become obsessed with certain guys just because of the way they ran at their pro day. I mean, all of that feels to me like it's a benefit if you believe that the people that are running your organization are extremely competent. And that's what we're really going to find out. If we're going to find out how competent some of these GMs and front offices are. And that's a challenge in and of itself.
Jason, I got one more NFL question for you. Then I want to change gears a little bit and talk a little UFC. But Tampa Bay unveiled their new uniforms, and I'm so desperate for NFL coverage, I actually set an alarm to remind me that today was the day Tampa Bay would be releasing their new uniforms. Your thoughts?
Well, look, they needed to go to the creamsicle.
Thank you.
Like at the end, we all know that they needed it, though. That's what we want. That's what we're claiming. I mean, they're calling this like a throwback, and it's not a throwback at all. It's actually just a cheap excuse for a new jersey, but it's not enough of a new jersey.
Oh, thank you very much. I agree wholeheartedly. Like the only benefit of these new jerseys is they obviously change the numbers, but everything else is pretty plain. Like you just got Tom Brady. Go against the wind, man. Throw all caution in the wind and go all out with the creamsicle jerseys. That's just my opinion. But
let me jump in real quick.
Fashion expert Brett Martineau. Can't wait to hear your thoughts.
I'm not a fashion expert. I just do think, they went on these crazy look uniforms from the Jags with the two-tone helmet to this almost like XFL-ish look at times with some teams' uniforms. Sure. They have gone back to a more traditional, clean-cut look mostly across the board, Yeah. I think Oregon got everybody thinking so far outside the box, and now the box is getting a little bit smaller again in the NFL, and that they're going more traditional look uniforms. I do have one more football question for Jason Fitz here.
Can I share my rebuttal real quick for those jerseys?
Oh, I thought you were going UFC.
Well, I was gonna, but now I have to share my rebuttal with what you just said.
What do you think?
Well, I think you're wrong because I think right now, look, Brent, like in terms of uniforms and in terms of culture and society, people are rocking that, vintage look. And I think when you have the creamsicle jerseys, that's vintage. Like the Chargers went back to those powder blue jerseys. Everyone seemed to love them. Why not go back to the creamsicle jerseys? You have a new quarterback. You have a new culture right now. You're trying to go for a Super Bowl. Add it to the look, man. Like I think their look right now, it's too much like last year, unfortunately.
You'd be buying their jersey if it was creamsicle?
Huh?
You'd be buying the number 12 if it was creamsicle?
Not only would I be buying the jersey, I'd probably put in my job application, go down to Tampa Bay, just so I could rock the gear all the time. No offense to you, Brent, and ESPN 690 Jacksonville, but Tampa Bay's the place to be right now, baby. I'm kidding.
Look, I'm with Austin on this one, not just because he can kick my butt, but I'm also with Austin because, frankly, like the creamsicle jerseys were such a sensation. I really think people would have absolutely flipped for them.
And I'm gonna be honest too. Like when I think of those creamsicle jerseys, I think of losing. Like, but here's the thing, Brent. Make it right though, man. Make it right. So like, to me, like my childhood. Oh yeah, Tampa Bay, those ugly jerseys and they suck. I get that. But now, man, you got Tom Brady. You have a high-powered offense. Make it right. Bring back the creamsicle jerseys and dominate.
I've got one more thought, on this draft stuff. I'll get back to that. Should Roger Goodell be more transparent with us right now, Jason? I have a bit of an issue with that, and he still has time for me. I'm not going to hold him to the coals just yet, but I think he could be saying, hey, this is why we're doing it. This is how we're going to do it. Other than these memos that I see from Adam Schefter who gets them, why can't Goodell talk a little bit here? Why can't he issue some statements? I feel like I wish he had a little bit more transparency right now.
I feel like, Roger, you're right. I wish he did, but man, the history here just tells us exactly why he's not, because he doesn't think he has to answer to any of us. And, as long as he keeps making the league money, the people that pay him every single year are the owners, and they're happy with him. So he doesn't, any perception that Roger Goodell actually cares about what fans think, I think is completely wrong. So, it should be that way, but I just don't think he cares about anything other than keeping the movement money, the money moving. So, you're right. I would do it that way, but, he certainly makes a lot more than we do. So he's got to figure it out.
A lot more.
Jason, I'm not sure if you're a really big UFC fan or not, but I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Obviously, it's a big story today. UFC 249, Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje is going to be on April 18th in a couple weeks here. And then Dana White also said that he's in the process of buying a private island where he's going to host fights there for a couple months. And listen, I have the perspective because obviously I'm a fighter myself, so I'm all for, since fighters don't have a union, right? So they're private contractors. I'm all for fighters having fights and getting their money because a lot of them need that money to live, right? They need that money to pay bills and put food on the table. So I'm all for fighters getting the opportunity. But at the same time, I can't help but think a little bit where this is kind of irresponsible, I feel like, with the UFC, where every other professional sport is shut down right now, right? Because they're abiding by the rules. And the UFC and Dana White, they're kind of taking it upon themselves to be kind of like the cool kid in town and still go on with the show.
Yeah, and I think, I talked to Ariel Helwani today on First Take, Your Take, and Ariel said sort of the same thing. Nobody can figure out why he's so hell-bent on making this happen, but he is, and he's going to make it happen. Ultimately, is it putting fighters at risk? I think that should still be our number one concern, and they haven't really answered any of that. And while I appreciate the aggressiveness, of it. The other point I would make is that for people that say, well, it's going to be a huge audience, as Ariel pointed out to me today, it's a pay-per-view that's an okay card that's going to be, $60. And are people going to pay $60 for that? As starved as we are right now, it's not like it's just a regular TV event. So I don't love the look for the UFC unless they've got a lot more answers, and it doesn't feel like they do.
By the way, the State Department of Business and Professional Regulation Secretary Halsey Beshears then tweeted at Dana White and said, hey, we'll be your huckleberry here in Florida. We'll find a way to get it done.
For sure. and listen, I mean, I'm so back and forth in this because it's like the fighters, well-being should be the number one priority. And listen, you want to talk about social distancing? Well, you're wrestling, you're grappling, you're right on top of each other. So that's not really going on. If one guy got sick, man, that could bring the whole company down. I get that. But at the same time, the reason why the UFC is where it's at right now is because you have a guy like Dana White who was willing to take risks, right? Like when everyone said that boxing would forever be king and that the UFC is just a barbaric sport and it's stupid and it's just a blood sport, no one's going to go for it. Well, Dana White said, cool, check this out. And now guess what? The UFC's on ESPN. So I can see where Dana White's coming from being so aggressive, especially after Vince McMahon just had WrestleMania where everyone was kind of talking about that. It's kind of the only show in town. But at the same point, man, you just got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is the juice worth the squeeze? And especially on a pay-per-view, I have a hard time, paying $60 for this. So.
Hey, we got to get you out of here, man. We've kept you a while, I know, but you have a Fits in the Tantrums episode here this weekend. I mean, this week. Anything you want to get off your chest?
This is a safe space, Jason.
Look, I'll say it to you. I said it to you earlier, but if there's a Fits in the Tantrums for me this week, it's that we're going to find out how many people in the NFL are actually doing their jobs for once, because we hide behind GMs and coaches all the time. And the fact is, there's a lot of scouts out there that none of us have any idea if they're even capable. So let's see if these guys can actually do anything. And for once, let's put them in front of the microphone to justify what they're doing. If Roger Goodell really cared about NFL fans, he would do a couple of things here. He'd let the draft go. He'd make scouts speak for the selections that they made, and he would mic up coaches when they're not getting the players that they really wanted, so we could see the immediate reaction of it and the human side of it. That's the one opportunity to win from the draft. And for a league that only cares about money, at least monetize trash talking and upset when you miss a pick. That's all I'm asking the NFL to do, is seize the opportunity for a salivating country and give us the money that we or give us the entertainment we crave. That's all.
Whew. Whoa, I hope these goosebumps go away that I got right now. Woo. I like it.
Jason Fitz, First Take, Your Take, 1 to 3, Monday through Friday on ESPN 690. Thanks for catching up, man. We'll do it again next week.
Y'all have a great week. Thanks.
Thank you, man.
All right. Hopefully you didn't have to run to another one.
I know, right?
We kept
Make the scouts answer, though, Brent. I like that.
I like it.
Why would you draft me in the 5th round? Somebody step up and say. I want answers.
That would be pretty awesome.
I want answers. Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. It is. Here's my view on it. I think the NFL takes a lot of heat and gets a lot of criticism for a lot of decisions they make. And then I think they do something and they usually pull it off. So I think that's their track record. They're $1 billion industry for a reason. And I understand it comes with a ton of criticism, and they don't make every move the right move. But I've got a feeling they're going to actually pull this off. And with the combination of TV people that they have working together on this, and I think they're probably working day and night to how we're going to do this and how we're going to make it sing and make it work, I've got a feeling it's going to be very well done. And kind of we're going much like you had about WrestleMania, right? You were a little like, how's this going to be?
Yeah.
No, there's
zero expectations.
Yeah, and there's no momentum for it. Nothing. Well, you came out of it and you're like, hey, that's pretty good. You're pretty impressed. I think we're going to come out of the draft that way. I don't know if we view the draft like that. I just think there's going to be a lot of critics to the way this is. I think it's going to look so different than what we're used to, especially have been accustomed to in the last handful of years with Philadelphia and Nashville and what could have been Vegas. And I think we're going to come away and be like, hey, that was pretty cool. Because what this time has forced everybody to do is kind of be very creative and also use technology. And technology doesn't always work, but technology is not bad either. And so I think as long as you have backup plans and contingency plans, I mean, listen, we do TV every day, and we're doing TV a different way than we've done it. And as long as the big key in TV and big key for really anything is to have a contingency plan. That doesn't make it fail safe. But if you have a plan just in case, I think the NFL will have enough of those that this thing will be pulled off and executed way better than people are thinking it will be.
I love Jason's point where he said you put the scouts on the spot, right? Because this is about them this year. And listen, in the NFL, it's all about relationships, right? We talk about with coaching all the time. We talk about with players, but it also happens in scouting where sometimes the best available guys don't have a job because they don't know somebody, okay? Sometimes the guys that aren't best qualified for their position get the job because they have the connection, all right? Well, this year you're going to see the scouting department either shine or, go by the wayside because you don't have the pro days anymore. You don't have these last-minute interviews anymore. All they have is what the scouts have written down, what they've done with their time on the road. And don't get me wrong, man, I would never want to be a scout. It's a hard job. It's a lot of travel, man. It's a lot of watching film. Forget it, okay? That's a job I have a lot of respect for. I can never do it. But at the same time, sometimes you got the scouts that want to ask you the dumbass question at the combine, right? Like I had encountered. And now all of a sudden you guys are getting put on the spot and we're going to see, are you earning your paychecks or not? So I think this is a fantastic opportunity for, number one, for scouts to maybe earn their way up a little bit and say, you know what? I know what I'm doing here. I'm doing my job well. Time for promotion. And then you can actually weed out some of the bad guys.
Well, and I think it's a really good point because I believe, and I don't know if this is the case all across the league, but I think scouts they stay in their job for a long time. Like there's not a lot of turnover there because it's an interesting calendar, right? When you make coaching changes in December or January, well, the scouts that you had are putting together the draft that's now a few months down the road and the combine's coming up. Well, you can't get rid of them then. You can't start from scratch.
Yeah.
So when you get rid of them usually is after the draft in April. And I just don't think that position overall, I don't know this, but I would guess it's not usually makes headlines either, but I would guess there's not a lot of turnover in scouting staffs across the league. I think a lot of GMs that come in inherit a lot of the scouts that are there.
Absolutely.
And keep them too.
It's happened in Jacksonville.
Absolutely happened multiple times in Jacksonville. So, and by the way, that could mean that there's very good scouts too. Very good scouts and not good decision makers are two different things sometimes.
Yeah.
But the reason why I don't think they'll ever allow this hard knocks-ish kind of reality look at it is because it's already such an inexact science drafting. And so you would put yourself out there, not only with the pick, but you'd put yourself out there with your words at why you draft. It only gives people more ammunition to rip you down the road.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
No,
so, they're never going to do it. They won't sign off on something like that. I love the idea. I'm just saying they won't sign off on that.
I think it's great, though. But at the same time, Brent, we talk about a professional football league here where players get held accountable all the time. And when a player messes up, you gotta face the music. If a coach makes a bad call, bad decision, that coach faces the music. If there's a bad trade or there's a trade going on, usually the GM will come forward and say, what's going on? Scouts, though, they're behind the scenes, man. They're pulling the strings, but they're behind the scenes the entire time. They don't have to answer for anything. Now, I'm sure it can come down from a chain of command where they get yelled at by, GMs and stuff like that, get held accountable. But I'm talking about from a public light and everything, it falls directly on the GM and never the scouts.
It'll be a very interesting draft in that sense. You're right. Scouts will take center stage, and also the trust from GMs and coaches and front office personnel in those scouts will take center stage in the 2020 NFL Draft. More football talk. We've got 10 questions coming up. I got an interesting question for you. Has nothing to do with sports. That's on the way as well on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny and warm today, highs in the mid-80s, dropping into the low to mid-60s tonight. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jacks from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Austin Lane from Action Sports Jacks. Thanks for making ESPN 690 the fastest-growing sports station in Jacksonville. It was a lot of fun playing for the Jacksonville Jaguars for 3 years, and I'm having just the same amount of fun on the radio every single day with ESPN 690. So I'm reaching out to you to be part of our team and grow your business with ESPN 690. Give us a holler at 245-8732. That's 245-8732. We look forward to hearing from you and hope you join the team.
An ex-athlete is waiting to be welcomed into a loving home. There's a greater need to place ex-racing greyhounds into permanent homes than at any point in recent history as a result of greyhound racetrack closings across the country. April is National Adopt a Greyhound Month and the perfect time to adopt a gentle companion into your home. Thousands of greyhounds are being cared for by adoption groups now. Please help ensure that all these wonderful dogs find homes by visiting thegreyhoundproject.org for information on adoption in your area.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At Ace, we always have been and always will be committed to our local communities because we're here to help others. So in this time of need, your local Ace remains open. And since we're in your neighborhood, we can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for the home or yard products you're looking for and choose from top brands like Steel, Ego, Toro, and Scotts. Then you can pick up in-store, curbside, or we'll deliver your order right to your door. Help is just around the block. See acehardware.com for details.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you.
Okay.
Then you need to be online where they look for you.
Online, huh?
Then you need to be involved in the community. Then you need to...
Whoa. I don't have time for all that. I need to run my business. Alexa, can you help me find someone that can help me with online marketing?
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions, your local marketing team putting you at the top of mind. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today and let us take your business to the next level so you can get back to running it. Local Solutions, powered by Cox Media Group. Marketing solved.
It's the home of the Action Sports Jacks Dream 18, and it can be your home course as well. The Golf Club at Southampton in North St. Johns County, located off County Road 210, family-owned and operated, and a fun course to play. The Golf Club at Southampton offers club membership programs starting at just $79. With its elite practice facility and player-friendly golf course design, it will be your gateway to a great time with the family or with your buddies. Become a member in 2020. For more information, call the Golf Club at Southampton at 904-287-PLAY.
If you have been operating a small business but now need to grow and generate more revenue, SCORE can help you attract more customers. We offer free resources including mentoring, online webinars, and workshops. Since 1964, SCORE has helped more than 11 million entrepreneurs and small business owners. In Jacksonville, SCORE provides services to almost 6,000 individuals annually. Find out more about how SCORE can assist your business by visiting jacksonville.score.org.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Austin Lane from Action Sports Jacks. Thanks for making ESPN 690 the fastest growing sports station in Jacksonville. It was a lot of fun playing for the Jacksonville Jaguars for 3 years, and I'm having just the same amount of fun on the radio every single day with ESPN 690. So I'm reaching out to you to be part of our team and grow your business with ESPN 690. Give us a holler at 245-8732. That's 245-8732. We look forward to hearing from you and hope you join the team.
Hey boss, have you heard about Safe Touch? They're now offering a free health and wellness package with every Safe Touch system.
Health and wellness package? Actually, that sounds kind of nice.
Yeah, well, not for us crooks. You know the Safe Touch two-way communicator?
Yeah, of course I know the Safe Touch two-way communicator.
Yeah, so we already know that it's the best deterrent against, crooks like us, but it can also be like a 911 dispatcher for other emergencies.
Like medical emergencies.
Yeah, there's the two-way communicator, the emergency buttons, the smartphone app. It's all just extra peace of mind for Safe Touch customers.
Great. As if people need another reason to get Safe Touch.
Well, the good news is it's not going to change our Crooks or Us motto, stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Some things never change.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Buy online from the comfort of your home when you shop ArlingtonToyota.com. At Arlington, they get it. They know right now things are different. But instead of thinking of things we can't do, Arlington is focused on what we can do, like shopping online from home at ArlingtonToyota.com. Getting your ride delivered to your door. Even the parts department will deliver parts to your door. And service? Drop it off and they'll give you a free ride home. I knew I always liked Arlington Toyota. Plus, you can still get savings up to 50% less on the ride you've been wanting. And it's all at ArlingtonToyota.com. Like a 2020 Toyota Camry. It's not $26,995. Now it's only $22,791. Yeah, $22,791 for a pre-owned 2020 Toyota Camry at Arlington. How about a 2019 Toyota Sienna? Don't pay $28,225. At Arlington, it's just $22,691. Just $22,691 for a pre-owned 2019 Toyota Sienna at Arlington. For shopping with all the comforts of home, visit arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/50% off for offer details.
In the Army National Guard, family means everything.
Our parents, they were really supportive that all 5 of us would join. I got my education because of the Guard. I got to travel a little bit and experience a whole different culture. It helped me get my job, it helped me pay for my house.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard instills pride that you and your family will share. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau. We at Action Sports Jacks hope you and your family are doing well. Coronavirus has forced a lot of people to choose between buying food and keeping the lights on. Whether you're one of these people or not, we're all living through this pandemic together. We've partnered with Feeding Northeast Florida for a virtual food drive so you can help without leaving your house. To donate now, go to ESPN690.com.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
The first thing I have to say to any 31 other teams that would like to take me during a draft, I bring just a different presence in the locker room, not just on the field. You can reach out to anybody that's ever played with me in Jacksonville. The kind of intensity and aggressiveness I bring is different. In my opinion, I'm a top 5 defensive end in this league, top 3. My play hasn't been able to be seen like that, playing in Jacksonville, not having too many primetime games. So, if I end up landing on a team that's prime time, hopefully I can show the world what I can do completely.
I guess that was another subtle dig at Jacksonville. Not a lot of primetime games, but whatever. I don't care about those are facts too. So,
yeah.
Again, I don't know if that was even implied as a dig, but
especially playing the Titans every single year.
Yeah,
can get worn out.
I will say this, Jan does not get the love that he earned nationally. He really hasn't. And that is, I've said, I have a bunch of theories on it, and one, I don't think it's primetime games, to be honest with you. There is a big belief among players that primetime games do matter in that sense.
Well,
I don't buy
Brent,
that,
but when you have primetime games, 9 times out of 10, that means you're winning. That you won the last season.
That's a good point. Yeah. So if you're winning, and then the more you're on ESPN, the more you're on NFL Network. Yeah. That's a very good call there. But I'm not saying just Jan. I've heard Calais say it. I don't know if I agree with it though. I mean, we're talking about the NFL, man. There's 32 teams, and a lot of them get seen. There's this thing called the Red Zone channels. They've seen the interception return of Jan on the Red Zone channel. Mm-hmm. The scoop and score, the late fumble force, whatever it might be. I'm not saying, listen, was Eric Armstead a household name until he went to the Super Bowl? Probably not. Mm-hmm. Until he just signed this big deal, I would say, probably not. So I get it to a degree. I just think it's an overplayed thing. I think if you're good, most of the time you're going to – now what you lack is the fan vote sometimes for the Pro Bowl. And, I know Jan was frustrated last year with some of that.
Yeah, but listen – you can't neglect, though, Brent, the fact that primetime games are a big deal, okay? Take the Myles Garrett incident from last year, for instance.
Wow,
do you think Myles Garrett would have been, we would have been talking about that ad nauseum for as long as everybody did if it wasn't on a primetime game?
No, it's good.
I doubt it.
Well, listen, I always said it hurt Josh Scobie a lot. Scobie would have probably stuck with Pittsburgh if he didn't miss – he missed back-to-back primetime games. It was like Monday night or Thursday night games. If those were Sunday afternoon games, he might still be kicking for Pittsburgh. I'm not sure.
Yeah, 2 years ago when the Rams took on the Kansas City Chiefs, and it was an instant classic, a high-scoring affair. Yeah. If that game would have been at noon or, I guess would have been 1 o'clock here, if that game was at 1 o'clock, do you think people would have cared as much? Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know. See, that's where I think they would have.
Oh, I disagree wholeheartedly, man. I disagree. I think that I get it. We live in the modern era now with the technology and everything where you can watch any game anytime, anywhere, and that's fine. But you can't take for granted playing underneath the lights like you did in high school or in college. Like there's something special about it. There's something about being in that prime time slot. There's something to be said for it.
You're right. I guess I'm just trying to think of a play Yannick Ngakoue made that would have elevated his status from a national standpoint if he made it at 8:30 at night rather than at 3:30 in the afternoon.
The last game against the Titans that he played against in Nashville it was at home. I stand corrected. I'm sorry then. Yeah, because I remember the play where he calls like the sack fumble, but that was the second game, I believe, right? Or was it the first game? Second game.
I don't even know.
I don't know, man. I think it was the first.
But you think if that was in the prime time, people have been like,
it may have helped a little bit. I think Calais Campbell helped out as a stock big time against the Tennessee Titans that Thursday night game.
He believes that too.
Well,
yeah, he does believe that.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
But I think Calais Campbell burst on the scene in Jacksonville, and everybody knew Calais Campbell right away in Jacksonville because he had 4.5 sacks against Houston in his first ever game.
In Jacksonville,
and that was at 1:00.
Brent, in Jacksonville, though. Did the whole world know about Calais Campbell?
I think he did, though.
Okay.
I think he was all over the place. He was 4.5 sacks. He was on NFL Network. He was on ESPN. I mean, I don't remember exactly, but I think those are the kind of games that stand out from an individual basis that you're going to get run highlights on, and when you do something crazy like that, anyway, good or bad. Myles Garrett, bad. Calais Campbell, 4.5 sacks, or Jalen Ramsey, 2 incredible picks against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You know, the Pittsburgh picks, I think that he had those diving interceptions. It was an afternoon game, but we knew Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah.
I mean, Ramsey has a different flair about him, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, Ramsey made a name for himself in those same amount of primetime games.
Mm-hmm.
And Calais has made a name for himself in Jacksonville. People know him in a Jags uniform. More so than even in an Arizona uniform, perhaps.
I'm just saying, Brent, when you know you're the only game in town, and when you know all eyes are on you, sometimes that's when you can play your best. You know, and I'm very adequate about it, man.
I don't disagree with you. I think you're right about it. I just think it's an overplayed player perspective that if I get in primetime more, I'm going to go to more Pro Bowls. I'm going to go be all pro. I'm going to get – I get branding's a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't – I mean, look, Olivier Vernon went to the Giants. Nobody knows Olivier Vernon's still playing. You know why? Because what has he done?
Sure. No, you're right. Yeah.
So I think
but once
it does
again,
come
he
into
played on
play,
a Giants team who didn't play prime time though, because they only weren't that good.
Yeah, they weren't that good. I mean, even earlier, if you go back a few years ago, they weren't that good because Coughlin ended up getting fired.
Yeah,
probably one of his first years there.
Mm-hmm.
I guess you're right. It probably is hand in hand. You're good. You're on TV more in highlights.
Yeah.
You're good. You're in prime time more. Right.
Sure.
All those things. Still a little surprise coming off 2017. Jags weren't in prime time a little bit more than they were.
Do you think the Tennessee Titans, I mean, I know you don't want to talk about them, but one would think this year.
Why? They're boring.
But they also went to the AFC Championship game.
But so did the Jags.
Okay.
They're boring.
All right.
Jags were a much more entertaining team in 17
You're right.
than the Titans were last year.
And 2018, how many primetime games did the Jaguars have after that stellar season?
I want to say they had 2.
Yeah.
I think that was it.
It's not everything. Okay.
So, but
meanwhile, the Browns had how many last year?
They had 6. I think it was maybe 5.
But you know why that was? That's all because of the hype.
Yeah,
you know,
it's because of the hype. You know, and they didn't earn that.
No.
But they'll probably have more primetime games this year too. They just added, Hooper, and they're going to be considered to be good again. All right, we have Saqib hanging on the line. Sorry, Saqib, didn't get you. Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. Thanks for hanging out with us. What you got, man?
What's up, boys?
Not too much, man. What's up with you?
Hope you and your family are doing well through these crazy times.
I just think, like I said to you guys before, I'm just trying to stay away from people. That's the best thing to do is social distancing. My daughter, she's like that. We're not 6 feet apart. We're not 6. Stay away 6. I was like, I'm trying, But let me ask you guys this: Unique. I think this guy. I really love this guy. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Third round pick, great guy. Austin, you were a third round pick, I believe. Okay?
I was a 5th round pick, but close enough.
5th round pick.
But you take the third round money.
I'll take the third round money all day, man.
Yeah, but my point is, I don't understand the mindset of these guys that are late round picks, haven't made the money that Jalen Ramsey has made. They don't want to come and pay for $17 million. I get it, you don't want to be here. But, dude, you're going to get $17 million guaranteed come and play. I get the whole injury thing, but where else? A guy like me who's unemployed, who got laid off a couple of weeks ago, I can't even get my unemployment right now because it's so busy right now. Okay, no money at all. You're making $17 million in cash. Dude, go play, bro. Go play and go do your job. I don't understand this guys anymore. Just go do your job, man. I mean, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. Prima donna, man. That's all these guys are. I'm sorry, Austin, to say that because I know that's your guys are your NFL players. But come on, man. There's a lot of people who are hurting right now who don't have jobs. And you're over here complaining that you're going to only $17 million.
Sakib, let me ask you this real quick. And by the way, I mean, Austin's biggest prima donna of them all, so that's okay. You said that. He says that to me every day.
Okay.
But they take these times away, and I understand it's personal, and I think the time perspective of it is definitely notable. But I also think I don't think the times have anything to do with what I've seen as a little bit of a turn in the fan base. Like you said, Yannick, you love the guy. Third-round pick, works his butt off, fun player, better player than anybody outside of Jacksonville even wants to admit, all those things. One of the fan favorites, really is. And now that seems to have flipped. With or without these times, I think that's flipping. Am I right about that? And why is it flipping? Is it the social media stuff? Is it that relationship that fans and players are in different worlds where passing up $17 million is an option? Why is it flipping?
Because the way he's doing it. He's doing it all wrong. He's doing it on Twitter. He's doing it on ESPN. He's doing it all over the place. He should not be doing it the way he's doing. If he doesn't want to be here, talk to whoever you need to talk to. Go. Stop saying that you don't want to be in. If you don't want to be in Jacksonville, in this beautiful city that we have here, get out. Get out. Stop doing it on social media. Do it the right way. And he's a quiet kind of guy, so I'm kind of surprised that he's doing this, Brent. I am shocked that he's doing this. I would be – when Jalen Ramsey was doing what he was doing, I understand him. Jalen Ramsey talks too much. We already know that. But I'm surprised that Yannick that he's doing this, and he should not be doing it like this. I love the guy. I hope he has a good career, but I hope he's not here in Jacksonville. I really hope he's not in Jacksonville. That's what my hope is.
Sakib, thanks, man. Be well, and appreciate you listening to Action Sports Shacks on ESPN 690. Again, okay, you got to. There's things here that are at play. One is, I think it came up last week, the whole feeding the family part, taking care of the family part, that with these times doesn't resonate with anybody because people are losing jobs and all those things. But there's also something bigger, whether it was these times or not. $17, $18 million versus what I would say normal people make. We can't relate to that kind of stuff. And we try to relate to that kind of stuff, but it's all about what you're worth. It's all about the market. It's all about, a lot of times we'll bring up like actors, in movies and stuff. Nobody gives a damn how much those guys make, and they make $25 million to do a movie. If you're worth it, you're worth it. So you've got to find what you're worth and your market value and all those things. I never have a problem with the dollars. Now, I do think if a young man has an ability to make $35 million over 2 years, he ends up making $2 million, I think that's not good. I don't agree with him there. I just don't. So there's kind of a divide. I was more interested in see the emotional part of what Sakib thought, because Sakib's a big Jags fan, and he loves Ngakoue. He even had nice things on the way out to say, even though he's kind of fed up with the way it's going down. It brings up a question to me when Sakib said, why did he do it this way? Why is he so active on social media? Why all these things? Well, we started the show with, he's desperate right now. He knows the clock is ticking. That's reality.
Because he can't leave.
And he can't leave. Yeah, he's got very little power here.
If he could leave, he'd already be out the door.
Absolutely.
He can't leave. And being the nice guy didn't work. So this is why he's been outspoken and he's been doing what he's doing a la Jalen Ramsey. Okay, it's as simple as that. Not saying it's who Yannick Ngakoue is. He just wants out, man. He's willing to sacrifice his reputation a little bit. He's willing to sacrifice what Jaguars fans think about him in order to get out.
Yeah.
And I agree. I think Yannick Ngakoue's stock fell drastically with Jaguars fans when he brought up the whole paycheck thing, all right? And in the current times that we're living in, I can see that standpoint, but this is, and listen, I'm not trying to sit on a high horse here and say I'm better than you or I know more than you. It's not that at all. It's just my opinion where, like you said, Brent, it's not real life. Okay, like I'm not concerned about people that make more money than me. I'm not concerned what celebrities are doing. I'm not concerned what MMA fighters above me are doing. I'm not concerned what NFL players are doing. Okay, like let them make their money, and I'm worried about my family and my neighbors and my brothers and sisters. All right, simple as that. I say that I'm an only child, but you know what I'm saying. Yeah. So I don't concern myself with that, man. And I don't think anybody should either. You shouldn't let that get to you, man. Just take care of yourselves. Take care of your own. Make sure your neighbors have enough. Don't worry about the 1% of the NFL players that are asking for more money. That's that life, man, okay? And that life's not for everybody, okay? I was part of that life. I didn't make that much money, but I get it. I'm not going to take that to offense. Like, I make a fraction. I make a minuscule amount of what I made in the NFL, okay? And every single job I have after this will probably be the same thing. And that's just the way it is. But I don't care, man. Go make your money. You're an NFL player. Your story of where you've come from, the hard work that you put in, and you got to a spot and you made it work. Congratulations, man. Now go reap those benefits. Go reap that fruit. I'm not going to hate on that. And people shouldn't hate on that either. I get we're in tough times right now, and I get that we can't go outside or we can't look at a Twitter website or we can't go in the news and see horrible things happening. And I understand that, man. But you got to put in perspective. Yes, the outside world right now, it's a scary place, and there's a lot of bad things happening, but don't try to take it out on a guy who wants more money, who's in that 1%. Don't take it out on a guy who comes from a life that you just really can't comprehend, man. Just worry about yourself, worry about your family and your friends, and you'll be all right.
Yeah, it's well said. Yeah, it's well said. I don't mind what players make. I don't mind them holding out for more money or wanting more money. I get it. It's just a different world. And like I always say, how can I have a problem with a guy who wants X amount of dollars in something I can't do? Yeah. Now, if that same guy was across the street and he was the sports anchor somewhere, and he was asking for that kind of money, well, then it'd be a different animal. I was like, wait a minute, let me jump in on that train. But it's different. It's just so different.
And let's be honest, man. If you're Yannick Ngakoue, you're essentially making millions and millions of dollars because you can get in a track stance and you can jump out of that track stance faster than 99% of the population in the U.S., okay? And you have good hip mobility. Those are the two things that are about to get you 17 to 18, maybe $20 million. Yeah. That's it, Brent.
Well, yeah, I think there's more to it. I think you've got whether it's an IQ, a little craziness to you to be able to play that game.
Yeah,
See, I mean, there's things. You've played the game, so you know what that for you.
And trust me,
in comparison, you're right. But for me, there's about 8 other things on that list.
There's a lot of things, but the point is, listen, if I was to put it on paper and say, yeah, he's got good hip bend, he can get out of a stance real fast, I would go to the random person and be like, that's worth $18 million? But guess what, man? It may not be right, and it may not be fair, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, and I don't mind. Listen, it's
welcome
just
to professional sports.
Just like the Jags who have to pay it. I don't care. It's not my money.
Yeah.
And that's kind of my argument for Jan is like, hey, I said this last week. I brought this up. Maybe it was yesterday. I think it was last week. And I said, if I, in his situation, I almost kind of reverse the psychology on this for 2020 and say, I know they don't want me around being like this, and I'm going to take their $18 million.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way I'd have to switch my mindset.
Sure.
From, I don't want to be here, and they won't pay me, they didn't give me anything I want, to, I'm going to steal that billionaire's $18 million.
Yeah.
Because he's going to, if they want to play hardball, I'm going to take your $18 million, and then I'm going to go make 100 more. That would be, that's the way he's going to have to reposition this, I believe. The question, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I mean, and I agree with you. That's the ultimate flex right there, right? You don't work for a business, right? Well, the business has to pay you a lot more money. You take that money and you assume that you stay healthy and you perform well in the field, so then you just up your value again. So basically, you go in the parking lot with that $18 million, whatever it is, give him the middle finger and say, well, thanks for your money, and I'm out of here.
That's right.
I mean, to me, that's the most ideal flex. Now, I say that like it happens in the movies all the time because it doesn't, because here's the problem. Injuries happen, right? And that's the big thing.
It's not a
wear and tear in your
scenario.
body. It's not a perfect scenario.
I will say this, though. That's the other reason you take the 18, because of the wear and tear in the body and potential injuries. But to Sakib's point, if he didn't play it out like this, if he said quietly to the Jags by now, and stayed quiet. There's somewhere in there that they probably did, his team and his camp, and then they were like, well, we got to go take a different tack here. This isn't working. But just humor me. If they had stayed quiet, would they have fallen into the Boyer and Ramsey, Boyer and Calais kind of situation, even a Nick Foles, where maybe if there wasn't this big to-do, you wouldn't have Shad Khan maybe backed into a corner, or at least feel like he is as much, and they would have maybe found a deal by now.
Yeah, I mean,
or would we be in the same situation? Do you
no,
think?
I mean that's a great point, because right now, at least, and I agree with you here, where you feel like Shad Khan is putting his feet in the ground, and he's drawing a line and said no more. Right? This is the last resort. We're on the final lines here, and I can't let this guy leave for anything lower than a fantastic deal, because it makes myself look weak and it makes the franchise look weak. I think if he didn't have, the other deals that went down, I think he'd be a little more lenient, probably a little more casual with it. But he's drawn the line in the sand now, and he's sticking to it. He has to.
Because the one thing that's forgotten about this is we say Jalen Ramsey. Telvin Smith also said, I don't want to play football for you guys anymore. We still don't really know why exactly, but it could have been very much to do with all of this.
Yeah.
So it really happened twice last year.
Yeah.
This could be the third one. We'll be back. We're not done talking about it. More football, 10 questions. And I do have a strange question for you on ESPN 690.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane. Over the last few weeks, the COVID-19 crisis has taken a toll on many families in our area, and some are having to choose between paying for power or their next meal. Well, you can help. We're partnering with Feeding Northeast Florida for a virtual food drive. To donate, go to ESPN690.com. That's ESPN690.com.
Every day, new information comes out about the coronavirus. At Action News Jax, we want you to know that we are on top of every new development. And every day, we're talking to experts, uncovering new information, and sharing what we're learning with you.
I'm Action News Jax anchor Tanika Hughes. ActionNewsJax.com is filled with valuable information on the impacts to Florida and Georgia. Stay calm, stay with us, and stay informed.
Action News Jax is local coverage you can count on.
I'm Glenn Levine, a board-certified civil trial lawyer. That means the Florida's recognize me as an expert in the field of civil trial. As a trial lawyer, I'm trained to investigate every aspect of your case. If you've been involved in a legal dispute and are not sure of your options, call me, Glenn Levine, at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation, and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Jacksonville Truck Center is here to help you get in the truck you deserve. When you need a fleet vehicle, Jacksonville Truck Center has the largest selection of pre-owned commercial vehicles, including cargo vans and work trucks. We're here to make it easy for you. There's commercial or personal financing available, even if you have bad credit. Don't spend your tax return money anywhere else. Visit the new Jacksonville Truck Center on Arlington Expressway next to the Southside Connector, or online at jacksonvilletruckcenter.com.
These days, the whole world is on the internet 24/7, on their phones, at work, even at the dinner table. It's the internet all the time. So why, when it's time to sell your home, does your traditional agent charge you 6% to list it on the MLS to other agents instead of targeting buyers directly online? That's why Rex was born. For a fee starting at 2%, Rex sells your home where buyers are looking, online, optimized by data-driven marketing, not the MLS. To get started, visit sellwithrex.com. That's sellwithrex.com. With Rex, selling or buying a home has never been easier. Price your home, get a virtual consultation, visit online open houses and showings, all from the comfort of your home with a few clicks of a button. Want to learn more? Visit sellwithrex.com or just use your phone and call 833-REX-HOME. 833-REX-HOME. That's 833-739-4663. License number CQ 1057788. Minimum fee may apply. Rex fully supports the principles of the Fair Housing Act and Equal Opportunity Act.
Hey everybody, Trey Wingo here from Golick & Wingo. Thanks for making ESPN 690 the fastest growing sports station in Jacksonville. It's clear Northeast Florida has great taste in radio. I mean, you're listening to me every morning, right? Join the ESPN 690 team and get your business notice today. The First Coast is making the switch to ESPN 690, and there's no better time to get your business in front of them. Call ESPN 690 today, 245-8732. That's 245-8732. Grow your business today on the new ESPN 690.
These can be unsettling times, but CGC Water Treatment wants you to know that they are there for you and your family. CGC Water Treatment has 50% savings for you. Purchase a Premier Softener and save 50% off a K5, Connecticut's premier reverse osmosis system. When the shelves at the stores are empty, It's a great feeling to have purified water right at home. Call 904-694-2242 or visit cgcwater.com. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. At Ace, we always have been and always will be committed to our local communities because we're here to help others. So in this time of need, your local Ace remains open. And since we're in your neighborhood, we can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for the home or yard products you're looking for and choose from top brands like Steel, Ego, Toro, and Scotts. Then you can pick up in-store, curbside, or we'll deliver your order right to your door. Help is just around the block. See acehardware.com for details.
I'm Thea Jeffers, owner of Breezy Jazz Club and T-Works Interior Decorating. It doesn't matter where you come from, it's possible to own your own business. But starting a business isn't easy. The Jacksonville Women's Business Center helped give me the confidence to keep going when the going got tough. At JWBC, I got the training, networking, and support I needed to help me reach my goals. To find out more about how JWBC can help you, visit jaxwbc.com.
Alexa, how do I drive more customers into my business?
First, people will need to hear about you. Then you need to be online where they look for you. Then you need to be involved in the community. Then you need to...
Whoa. I don't have time for that. I need to run my business.
Okay, searching for a local team that can help.
Local Solutions, your local marketing team putting you at the top of mind. Visit JacksonvilleLocalSolutions.com today and let us take your business to the next level. Local Solutions, powered by Cox Media Group. Marketing solved.
At AutoZone, we've always been there to help get you what you need when you need it, and that hasn't changed. That's why we want to let you know AutoZone stores are still open. Whether it's a quality part or a free battery test to help you stay on the road, we've got what you need. And if you do happen to need anything fast, we've got free store pickup inside the store or curbside, your choice, as well as next day delivery. Our stores are open and we're ready to help make the job easier. Get in the zone. AutoZone. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
It's time for some straight talk. You know what a full court press is in basketball, right? Full defensive coverage with no holes. Well, that's the kind of coverage you get with Straight Talk Wireless. It runs on America's best 4G LTE networks, same as the big carriers, but just for a lot less. Just $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data, then 2G, saving you up to half the cost of the big carriers. No contract. Full court coverage, half the cost. Straight Talk Wireless. Everything for less. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio. This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
Well, I have to give all the credit to my agent right now. If it wasn't for him, my garage, I have like a big gym getting set up right now. He's constantly getting bands, medicine balls, everything like that sent to my house right now. I'm just constantly setting things up, and that's just taking most of my time.
And Aiken Ngakwe getting work in. No doubt that was going to happen.
Getting those drive-by workouts, and you can stop by my place if you want, Yannick.
You know, always going to be disappointed if Jan leaves or when he leaves or whatever. I always want to go back home with Jan and do a story. Never happened.
Maryland, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think he's a cool story, you know, from where he came from third-round pick to what's happened to him and what really should have happened, probably more so here in Jacksonville, to become like the guy. And now that's taken such a turn that it's obviously turned into a different kind of story for now. And we'll see how it plays out. You know, going back in the show, just to recap a little bit, Aiken Ngakwe talked on NFL Live today. That's where the sound's coming from on ESPN. Just before our show, actually, he did that via Skype. And I feel that things are getting a little bit desperate for Jan. And I don't say that in criticism of him. I think that's just reality. I think if he does not get out of Jacksonville by draft weekend, well, then he's here until I think the next time frame is like Labor Day. And then if he doesn't get out then, which I think is the most unlikely time, by the way, to get moved out of these 3 dates that I'm giving you, then the next time is the trade deadline. Now, if he makes it all the way to the trade deadline, an unhappy camper most likely, money in his pocket if he decides to sign that franchise tag, less money in his pocket if he decides not to, well, he then has some of the leverage, depending on how crazy the Jags want to get and flex their muscles even more and say, hey, we'll use the franchise tag again in 2021. So there's still a little leverage with the team, but I still think that's Jan leverage because, hey, go ahead, pay me $25 million to play. Or whatever the number is, but it's a crazy amount of money to franchise tag a second year. So I think that's where we're at. You've got the draft to get out of here, and right now that's in the immediate. And I think the tweets of the last couple of weeks, I think the more less cryptic and more just point blank messaging from Jan, including today on NFL Live, to get out of Jacksonville. Well, there's an urgency. And he doesn't have a ton of leverage. The Jags have a dozen draft picks. The Jags can sit there on their hands and wait for somebody to blow them away with an offer, or they can sit there in the sand and say, we ain't budging. Play for us or don't. And, again, I'll take you back to Shad Khan, I think, is a big player in this. I do believe that. I don't think he wants to have the perception of, hey, Jalen Ramsey wanted out. We got him out of here. Yannick Ngakoue wanted out. We got him out of here. Who's next? When does it stop? When does that revolving door stop? And while I understand, okay, well, then build a winning culture, I get it. But that doesn't mean you can allow all that kind of stuff to happen while you're trying to build a winning culture. I just don't. If I'm Shad, I'm not doing that. Or I'm at least holding very firm until I get exactly what I want for such player. That's what happened in the Jalen Ramsey situation. There's another player in this that we don't talk much about, and that's Doug Marrone. If I'm Doug Marrone, I'm saying to Shad, I'm saying to Dave Caldwell, guys, let's roll the dice on here and see if he plays. I'll manage him. Mm-hmm. I'll put up with the locker room stuff. We'll get the most out of him. He wants to play football. That's what I'd be saying if I'm Doug, because I'm better with him.
Yeah, he's going to help you win games to save your job.
Absolutely. Todd Wash, Doug, all those guys. Yeah. So we don't talk about Doug in that sense very much, but I think he is an important player in saying, hey, I want to keep these guys. Much like I brought Doug a lot into the conversation of Nick Foles and Gardner Minshew, and that's why I thought Doug would really go to bat to keep Foles on the roster, because why not have as much firepower as I can have at the QB position? Obviously, Foles ends up getting traded away, and in hindsight, that was a pretty good deal for the Jags. They got a 4th-round pick in return, and they get some of that contract off the books, especially going forward after this season. So I would put that in the category of Shad Khan, Dave Caldwell, the Jags. They got what they wanted in return. They didn't just give him away and say, Doug, we're going to just leave you with one quarterback. I think Marrone is an interesting part of this because his job's on the line. In 2020, and he wants to be as well equipped as he can to at least have a fighting chance.
Yeah, and this kind of goes back to my point of, this is kind of the awkward thing that you face right now as an organization, because Doug Marrone, Dave Caldwell, obviously fighting for their jobs this year. Right now, the way the roster is constructed, they obviously need some help at a lot of areas, okay? So there's work that needs to be done, but they still have to win games, So obviously, if you're Doug Marrone, number one, you look out for the team's best interest because that helps you win games. You also look out for your own best interest, and having Yannick Ngakoue there is obviously the best thing. Now, if you're Doug Marrone, even if you're Dave Caldwell, do you go to Shad Khan and say, hey, man, we need Yannick Ngakoue here. I know he doesn't want to be here, but let's offer him even more money. Let's see if he'll take any nibble at some of the, the stuff that we throw out there. The answer is probably going to be no, but it begs the question, have those conversations transpired a little bit, because the Jaguars are so much better, obviously, with Yannick Ngakoue on the field than if he's not on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of things, too, and I'm going to get to this question in a moment. I want you to start thinking, okay? I'm putting it out there right now on social media. Here's my off-topic crazy question. It's funny how these things come up.
You've been really setting this up here. I'm a little nervous.
It's not crazy. It's just, but I'm taking a walk, one of 3 a day.
Good for you.
Right?
Yep.
And I see a boat go by.
A boat?
Well, it was a car and a boat.
Yeah.
So
it was our trailer. Yeah, I got you.
This isn't like some UFO story, okay?
Come again. You're going for a walk on what? What were you on exactly? All right.
So a boat goes by.
Sure.
And it says, every boat has a name.
Yeah.
Well, it says no name.
No name was like...
That was the name of the boat. And so I was like, Steph, this would be a good radio topic. What would you name your boat?
Oh, wow.
So think about it. Payan?
Payan, right?
Well, there's a bar down in St. Augustine called No Name.
Is it
No
really?
Name Bar?
No Name Bar.
Wonder if that was tied to
Maybe
the bar.
they own it.
They might own it.
Now we're talking.
That could be it. But what would you name your boat?
Wow. First of all, I would never have a boat because...
No, you want friends with boats, right?
Exactly, exactly.
But listen, we're in Jacksonville, man. A lot of people have boats.
Yeah. What would I name my boat? Kuz, you want to chime in here?
All right. No, I want you to think about it because
Okay.
I'm not done. I got to get to something else here. I want to finish off the Jan stuff. But I'm just giving you a little time to think about it.
I appreciate
Because
it.
you
Do a
know
little
who's entered
homework.
the fray once again here on the show?
Who's that?
Coronavirus has brought back Stat Boy.
Oh, out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
He's okay?
I guess he's okay.
Yeah.
He gives us a couple of stats.
Okay.
Since Yannick has been in the league, he's 12th in sacks and 8th in quarterback hits.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
That's top 10 right there. I mean, obviously the sacks, but yeah, hits. Yeah,
I
top 10.
would say that would justify as top 10, depending on where you know. See, a lot of people will penalize Jan for the 8 sacks this year, and his most was like 11 or 11 and a half, I think it was, but that came early, so it didn't come. Again, it's kind of how you view some of that stuff. But, yeah, I think that fits into the top 10. By the way, Daniel Hunter is 3rd in sacks since 2016. He got 5 years, $72 million.
5 years, 72. So what does that average out per year?
Quick
You
math.
know I'm bad at math, Brent.
Yeah, that's close to 15. So
I'm
it's,
not even gonna try.
it's
I
like
just let you do it.
14.75, whatever, I think.
Okay.
It's close to 15 million a year.
Gotcha.
Again, I think there's one thing we've learned this offseason about the dollars, and I'm not even sure Jan's tied up in the dollars anymore. I think this is more just principle, get me the hell out of here. And I think what we've learned about the dollars is it's nowhere near north of $21 million. Nobody's paying. Nobody's paying north of $21 million. I think you're going to have a hard time getting Clowney and Jan and players like that to get north of $20 million. I think it's settling back into 19, and maybe it is 18, depending on who you sign with, depending on how much money they have. But again, I'm not so sure that's even an important thing anymore for Jan. I think it's so much just get me out of Jacksonville, and I think that's a big part of it. One other couple things while you think of your boat name. I wanted to get a couple more thoughts in from some of the folks that are listening to the show, and they brought these up over the last couple of hours. James says, counterpoint, you can never have too many picks, and if some desperate win-now team wants to let themselves get fleeced, well, much like maybe L.A. did last year. Brandon Smith says, I'll be surprised if any team is willing to pay what he wants, especially after last year. Scott Adams, I don't think anyone that can lock up $17+ million for one season by signing the tag should have any feelings of desperation. Sure, he wants a long-term deal, but the 17+ is life-changing money. Well, Scott, you might not think he should have those feelings, and that is a nice parachute to have, absolutely. But I think it's bigger than that for Jan. You got to remember, you're not just dealing with a guy who's talking money. He's now got it in his mind he wants out. And when you want out, what's going to change that course of thinking? You know, right now it's a one-track mind. It's get me out of here. Daniel Baldetti says, rumor out of New York, Yannick and number 9 to move to 4 in additional picks. Good deal. It depends. What's the additional picks and getting the 4?
More information.
I don't think that's much of a rumor. I think it's a scenario more than anything else. G.I. Joe says you're insane for thinking he's staying in Jacksonville. Heck, you would leave if you had the chance. Well,
whoa!
I'm not so sure about
Brett,
that.
Something you want to talk about?
No, I'm
trying
to buy a boat.
You're happy? Yeah, you are pot committed here, sir.
But yeah, that's it. Let's get one more. We'll get Josh in. I don't think so. I really don't think Jan's pride will allow it, even if the Jags offered a sweetheart deal, including some sort of public apology and whatever other concessions you could think of. He wouldn't take it right now. Well, there's a lot of thought right now that is very true, that he would not even do that. All right. You got a boat name for me?
Kuz, you want to go first?
Aquaholic. That would be my name.
That's not bad, man.
No, it's awesome, but of course, what else would it be for Kuz? You know,
Right.
Aquaholic. Yeah, I love it. That's good.
That is really pretty good.
So,
have you seen is there a list of good boat names?
Here, I pulled a bunch up.
You have some?
Yeah. Well, here's the most common one. Here's the top 8, I guess.
These are stupid.
Grace, freedom, seize the day, therapy, second wind, perseverance.
I've got serendipity.
Serendipity. How about buoyancy?
No.
Are you ready for this? Serendipity.
Are you ready for this? Because you know, like how you sometimes when you're in high school, you get your first car, you kind of name it after a girl or something like that. You know, right?
Yeah.
Get ready for this. The Duchess of Duval. Yeah. No, yeah, or not?
No, I was trying to think who would have to own that car.
So is that for Cody?
No, that's my boat. What are we talking about right now? That's what that's the boat's name.
Oh, okay. I
Also,
thought you were tying
or my wife too.
I thought you were
don't
tying
know.
your wife into the boat name.
No, I'm saying like it's obviously a female, so I'm going to call it the Duchess of Duval or the Duke of Duval if you want to go with a guy.
Another really common one.
My boat's going to be a girl.
Another common boat name is She Got the House.
Yep, I like that a lot. Brett, what do you got?
Now that's very good. That is very, very good.
Brett, what do you got?
I'd probably name it after like the kids in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
That's dumb too, though.
Oh wow. I was going to tell a story too, but now I'm like, nope, never mind.
All right.
So my agency that I had with the NFL when I got drafted, I was with XAM, and the reason it was called XAM was because they took the first son's name Max and turned it, around.
Okay.
So it's XAM. But apparently that's a dumb idea according to you. So I'm just going to be quiet now. Don't worry.
Listen, you can name your after the kid.
No, I'm kidding. But what are you going to name
Ty
it,
and
Brent?
Kaylee. I mean, twins.
Brent, what are you going to name it? You're cashing those checks. You're snapping necks. You're feeling good. You got a boat. What are you getting, man? We're going to the Catalina Wine Mixer. We have 2 weeks off from work. Where are we going? And on what are we going to be calling it? Let's go. I want something creative, man. Don't cheat.
I know. I'm trying to get.
I
need some ideas. I asked the question and didn't even think of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was hoping to get some good answer. I knew I wasn't going to give the good answer. I'll have to think about it a little bit more.
Okay.
I'm going to wait. Maybe by the end of the show, I'll have my boat name. Just
I'll
some
be
other
waiting with
ideas. By the way.
breath.
Fishtails is going to be a popular one, right?
Fishtails?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ships and Giggles?
No, that's pretty good.
How's that one?
You had the drop button ready
I
just
was
in
a little
case.
nervous.
That is good.
Yeah.
Give us some good boat names. What is do you know Belichick's? I thought remember they did the NFL Network piece on Belichick, and I thought he had a creative name. Coos, if you can find that,
let's go and Google that.
I'm pretty sure he had something that was like, that was pretty good. But like those coaches all have boats.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure.
I'm trying to think of who in Jacksonville. Obviously, Shad has Kismet, but
one of the coolest things I ever saw is when I took a couple visits to Seattle, and the way Seattle's practice, like the practice facilities set up. Number one, they're owned by Microsoft, right? So believe me when I say, hey, legit, everything's legit there in Seattle. But their practice, like their facility, it's right on the water. It's right on a lake. So I see Pete Carroll with his boat literally pulls up to the facility, ties it off or whatever on the dock, and just walks to the facility, man. Like one of the coolest things you're ever going to see.
That's awesome.
His boat's called Six Rings.
Six Rings.
Which the R has like a loop on it, and then it's got rings.
When they did the story,
Pompous.
I think it said 5.
So
actually.
pompous. Yeah.
Well, maybe it's
I think
changed
it
it.
did. But there's like not working, KNOT, not.
I like that.
Or not on call. And actually on the K list is Kismet. So is that a
Really?
popular name?
No idea.
Who else would have a boat, you think, in Jacksonville? Linder has one. I wonder what the name of his boat is.
Can go. Just type in
Can you
Google.
just look up boat on a boat registry
sure
like
you gotta
everybody's name?
register.
You
There's
got to
a
go to
boat registry.
boatus.com, apparently.
Is that what it is?
Well, that's what this says. I don't know if it's going to give me all the names. Top 10. Oh, I can go by year. Aquaholics #1 for 2019.
Give me a break.
That wasn't an original.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah,
No,
no,
of
I don't
course
have
he was
original thoughts.
plagiarizing.
Of course.
course
He's
he's
got a track
plagiarizing.
record of that.
We've seen it firsthand at Flagler. We know what goes on.
More Cowbell is another one.
That'd be like a
You're just
Mississippi State
milking
fan.
it. Yeah. Oh,
Feeling naughty, but with like a knot. You know.
yeah.
High
A little
maintenance.
cheesy. Yeah, absolutely not. That's
And then why not is a great boat.
why not?
Why not? It's a
Why
good one.
not?
I
Duval
like that.
Duchess, man.
You know
Give
what
it to me.
I always wanted to do this story in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
That it's going to be hard to explain, but you know how like a lot of businesses will have like a catchphrase.
Sure.
You're right. A slogan.
Yeah.
That'd be the best way to say it.
Yeah.
So like when you're driving around Jacksonville and you see the whether it's a lawn company,
Yeah.
and how their play on words with landscaping or lawn or mowing lawns or whatever else. I always think that's fun. Like, I think there are some really good ones.
Sure.
I had none of them popping in my mind right now, but they're really good. So I always wanted to
didn't really leave an impression for them. But
I always wanted to do this TV story, though, or something, just ride around town and just pick out all the best slogans that you see in a day.
I like it.
Because there was like one like company that, I don't know, maybe it played off like your wife is hot or something like that.
Sure,
yeah.
just really getting to the point. I can appreciate it.
I mean, you probably have if you go across there's probably some really good ones across the country. But even in Jacksonville, that comes to mind sometimes because I'll be driving and I'll see them like, hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good play on words.
Like, when we talk about boat names, though, like, I picture it in like the worst circumstances possible. Like, your boat's in the middle of the ocean and there's a hurricane coming. Like, what was that one movie with George Clooney? Was it Perfect Storm or something?
Was Clooney in Perfect Storm?
Perfect Storm? Was the Perfect Storm the one where they're in the boat and they're like all
There's been a
trapped?
few now, but probably.
It might have been it. It was boring. It was like 2 hours of kissing the family, like saying hi and fishing, and all of a sudden, oh, here comes a storm. 10 minutes. It's like Titanic. It was.
It's upside down. They're trying to escape.
Yeah, I saw it when I was a kid, but anyways, so like I picture that where it's like I have to call in, whoever, Mayday, Mayday. This is. I'm not gonna say Mayday, Mayday. This is the Aquaholic. We need help. We need help. No, man. Mayday, Mayday. This is the Duval Duchess. We're going down. We're gonna sink. Like. You gotta have that little pomp. I'm not gonna have some stupid name where I'm gonna call Mayday and they're gonna be like, "Wait, what?"
You're gonna be ashamed to tell them the name of your boat.
Exactly.
I want boat names, good boat names. Of course, Matt Sturman.
Can we have yours?
Says in Jenny. I said by the end of the
Jenny?
show.
Okay. Aunt Jenny?
No, just Jenny
from
Jenny.
Yeah, from Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump.
Jenny. Yep.
Jenny. All right, let's take a timeout. We got 10 questions. We got a little rising stock on one of the QBs in the draft.
Yep.
Is it real, though? Why all of a sudden?
I'm kind of triggered. Not
Is
gonna lie.
everybody just conditioned to throw QBs in the mix? We'll do that. And your boat names if you want. By the way, none of us are buying a boat. This just totally came about because I was walking and saw a boat with no name. And at the very moment, that's my name of the boat.
Yep.
No name.
Better step your game up. I was going to say a funny name of a bar that's right by me I used to go to, but it's not really appropriate for the show, so never mind. I'm not going to say it.
It's not Pickles.
It's not Pickles. It's not the Pickle, but I'll show you the name after the break.
The Pickle. Sorry, Pickle.
Yep.
We'll be back on ESPN 690.
Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau on ESPN 690 is brought to you by Best Bet Jacksonville and Orange Park.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly cloudy tonight, dropping into the low to mid 60s, and a warm Wednesday. It'll be partly sunny with a widely scattered afternoon shower or thunderstorm and highs near 85. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jax Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The comforts of your home. Sounds good, doesn't it? And our friends at Arlington Toyota agree. That's why they're making it easier than ever to buy from the comforts of your home with ArlingtonToyota.com. When you go to ArlingtonToyota.com, you can choose from page after page of new Toyotas and pre-owned inventory. In fact, you can complete your transaction all online, and Arlington Toyota will deliver your vehicle to your home. Easy, right? And if you need an easy way to get your car serviced, Arlington's got that covered also. Just drop off your car for service and get a free ride home. Need parts? Arlington Toyota will deliver parts to your home. It doesn't get any easier than that. Online shopping with Arlington is one way to buy, but they also want you to know they're following all CDC and Health Department guidelines and taking every precaution to clean commonly touched surfaces. Arlington has a full-time cleaning staff, 7 days a week, because keeping their Arlington team and their loyal customers safe is their top priority. Shop from home, get your new ride delivered to your door, all with ArlingtonToyota.com. From everyone at Arlington, stay well and know their team is here for you. Men suffering from ED or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center is open to serve you during these trying times. Their highly skilled physicians guarantee results on your first visit or pay nothing. Call 904-206-8105.
Hey, boss, check out this headline. Safe Touch Security. Your health and safety are all we do.
Safe Touch again? Is that all you ever talk about?
Boss, your mom still has a Safe Touch security system, right?
That is correct. Don't make any comments.
No, I can't blame you. Having a Safe Touch system is like having a halo of protection surrounding her.
Exactly. For instance, let's say, God forbid, that she needed the fire department.
Not to worry, Safe Touch can respond.
Or let's say she stubbed her toe, the mother of all toe stubs, and she couldn't get to the phone.
Safe Touch can contact emergency toe fixes.
I never thought I'd say this, but I'm glad Safe Touch is out there.
Boss!
I know, but that doesn't mean we don't stick to the Crooks of Us motto. Stay away from Safe Touch houses.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
There are everyday actions to help prevent the spread of respiratory diseases. Wash your hands. Avoid close contact with people who are sick. Avoid touching your eyes, nose, and mouth. Stay home when you are sick. Cover your cough or sneeze. Clean and disinfect frequently touched objects with household cleaning spray. For more information, visit cdc.gov/COVID-19. This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
I'm not a big talker. I am a big doer. But sometimes the only way to solve the problem is to get on the horn and figure it out. So the only people I like talking to? Grainger. With knowledgeable product experts, ready with the answers to my toughest questions, calling Grainger is the one conversation I don't mind having. From machining and motor parts to valves and vacuum pumps. When it comes to solving my problems, Grainger's got my back. Call, click Grainger.com, or stop by to see for yourself. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Jacksonville, it's Brent Mortno. It's a tough time for everyone right now, and we hope you and your families are staying safe and healthy. Our friends at Bold City Heating and Air want me to let you know that they are here if you need them. As many of us now call our office home, the summer heat has also arrived. Temperatures are climbing. If you find yourself in need of an emergency with your AC unit, Bold City Heating and Air wants you to know that they have a crew standing by and on call to help. Mirza and his staff at Bold City Heating and Air are there for you. Call 904-379-1648 or visit them at boldcityac.com.
Baby boomers and retirees, learn how to de-risk your retirement savings with less risk and higher returns. Secure your retirement income savings with zero downside market protection, plus earn upside market gain. Chuck Oliver, two-time best-selling author and wealth architect, is hosting a free and timely educational webinar. Visit retirementprotected.com. That's retirementprotected.com to schedule your webinar day and time. Chuck Oliver is helping baby boomers and retirees thrive in retirement. Visit retirementprotected.com.
Buy online from the comfort of your home when you shop arlingtontoyota.com. At Arlington, they get it. They know right now things are different. But instead of thinking of things we can't do, Arlington is focused on what we can do, like shopping online from home at arlingtontoyota.com. Getting your ride delivered to your door. Even the parts department will deliver parts to your door. And service, drop it off, and they'll give you a free ride home. I knew I always liked Arlington Toyota. Plus, you can still get savings up to 50% less on the ride you've been wanting. And it's all at arlingtontoyota.com, like a 2020 Toyota Corolla. It's not $17,635. Now it's only $14,991. That's $14,991 for a pre-owned 2020 Toyota Corolla at Arlington. How about a 2019 Toyota RAV4? It's not $24,195. Now it's $19,471. Yeah, just $19,471 for a pre-owned 2019 Toyota RAV4 at Arlington. For shopping with all the comforts of home, visit arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/50% off for offer details.
During this uncertain time, one thing is certain: the essential need for continued love and care for your pet. Forever Vets Animal Hospital will remain open with the health and well-being of staff, clients, and pets remaining a top priority. Forever Vets Animal Hospital's 8 locations offer curbside pickup and drop-off, follow social distancing requirements, wear personal protective equipment, and have thorough cleaning procedures of exam rooms following every appointment. The Forever Vets team is thankful for the hard work and dedication of Jacksonville's first responders and will be offering a 10% discount to the doctors, nurses, police officers, firefighters, and delivery truck drivers continuing to help our community during this time. The senior citizen and armed forces discount has also increased from 5 to 10%. Forever Vets Animal Hospital is committed to continuing to care for the pets who are always there for us, especially during times like these when we need them the most. Forever Vets Animal Hospital, open for you. Visit forevervets.com to learn more or schedule an appointment.
Men suffering from ED or PE, Prime Men's Medical Center is open to serve you during these trying times. Their highly skilled physicians guarantee results on your first visit or pay nothing. Call 904-206-8105.
If you're usually listening to ESPN 690 in your car, but your boss has you working from home this week, well, take us with you. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from ESPN 690 and Action Sports Jax. Tell Amazon Echo or Google Home, play ESPN 690, and enjoy all that sweet listening coverage.
Brent Martineau.
You see him every day on CBS 47, Fox 30, Action Sports Jax.
Austin Lane.
He's a former Jag star and current MMA fighter.
Broadcasting live from the Anajar and Levine studio.
This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 and ESPN690.com.
We've got some interesting boat names, just not sure we can say them on the air. And when in doubt, it's like
don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do
it's
it.
It's like running a red light or yellow light.
Yep.
And also stealing bases.
Don't do it, Brent.
And when in doubt, don't do it.
My mom could be listening, okay? Enough said. We don't need to do it.
A lot of dirty names out there, though.
For boats?
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, if my boat's about to sink and I'm calling somebody, like, is it Mayday? It's Mayday, right?
I would think.
Is that what you do? Mayday?
SOS.
It's got to be
Mayday.
Yeah, you said Mayday, Mayday.
That's what they say in the movies.
Exactly. Yeah. So if I'm calling Mayday, yeah, I'm not going to repeat what the guy said, but I'm not going to use some of these people's names. I'm just not going to do it.
That's fair enough.
I deserve to drown if I'm going to call my boat. I'm not going to say it, but offensive.
I'm still not thinking of a creative name for my own boat.
Yeah, we're going to get on that or not, man. You've had some time now.
You got to stop talking to me in the commercial breaks. That would help.
I know.
Want to remind everybody, by the way, hit ESPN690.com and join us, Jackson This Together, hashtag Jackson This Together, here on ESPN 690, WOKV, and all our cluster of radio stations here at Cox Media Group, along with CBS 47 and Fox 30. We are doing a virtual food drive, which is pretty cool, and we'd love for you to participate and help feeding Northeast Florida and provide to the less fortunate during these unfortunate times that we all have. ESPN690.com is the place to go. So many people in need right now. And like I said earlier in the show, so many people willing to help. And, we kind of knew this. It would be a great show of humanity on so many different levels. I just saw the Twitter, and I don't know his name, Twitter founder, I think just donated $1 billion toward the coronavirus pandemic.
Wow.
I didn't know Twitter had that kind of money, cash flow floating around.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, come on, Brent.
$1 billion.
Yeah, it's pocket change for them.
That's unbelievable. What a donation. But
that's awesome.
We are not asking for $1 billion. That would be nice.
You got it. You donate some, put up a new TV in the studio. Too, a little extra, a little off the top, a little cream off the top if you want to.
That is not where this is going.
No, it's not going there. I'm kidding.
Virtual food drive, hashtag Jackson This Together, ESPN690.com for more of the information. Here's the deal. I'll give you the real abbreviated version. $40 provides 10 snack packs to children in need. $100 help provide 4 family boxes. $250 help provide 10 family boxes in need. But you don't have to donate those figures exactly. You can donate anywhere from $5 to $500 or more, $1 billion if you want. But ESPN690.com, the place to go. Help us out. We'll keep reminding you about it, but hopefully you can participate along with our radio stations and TV stations. Hashtag Jax in this together. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Coos together again here on a Tuesday.
How much Twitter is worth in assets back in 2018?
If you're donating $1 billion,
this is back in 2018. Keep in mind. Actually, you know what? There's one in 2020 here.
I'm going to say $200 billion.
No, it only says $21 billion. So,
that's a lot. That's a big donation for
generous
$21 billion guy.
Generous.
Huh.
It's awesome.
Maybe they've really gone up since 18.
Hey, who knows, man? I mean, I'm sure they're crushing it. Have you seen Twitter lately?
Yeah,
it's
yes.
a madhouse.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Coos, let's get to it, man. 10 questions. What you got? Ready to roll? We'll also we have to get to Justin Herbert. We'll do that. Is his draft stock rising? Connections to the Jags in there? Come
Easy,
on now.
Brent. Come on, man.
All right, but let's go 10 questions first.
All right, Brent, my first question to you is, how upset are you that Psalm is retiring from Fortnite?
Go on.
Can I phone a friend and ask Ty?
No, you can't.
25-year-old.
He's retiring.
He's retiring. He was the runner-up.
How much did he make?
He was I didn't have that, but he was the runner-up to the World Cup Finals that we kind of actually talked about last year with the winner. Yeah.
Hey, quick story on that. Not been 30 seconds, but so a couple weeks ago.
This is more of a joke topic, but I'm glad it's turned into something.
So Ty plays Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
It probably plays it too much.
Sure,
but
as most kids do at his age.
And Kaylee's been playing as well. But so a couple weeks ago, we're out. I don't know if we went to a store or whatever. I don't know what it was, but we were out and said, Ty, you going to come? And he's like, no, I got to stay in. I'm playing Fortnite. I'm playing with Justin, his buddy Justin.
Sure.
And so he plays this thing.
It was me.
Not Justin. Not that Justin. I don't think. I have no idea.
You never know, man.
I have no idea.
You never know.
I probably should have better parenting than this.
Yeah.
But so he plays this thing, and he plays from like 1 p.m. until 4 p.m. Well, then Justin's mom is texting Steph. They're like, hey, they're winning, all this stuff. Like, what are you even talking about? Like, winning what?
Money?
They're like, yeah, you can win money, and you can do this stuff. Like, what game are they in?
No,
and so then they win one of the segments, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, shoot, I'm getting excited
Brent's all
here.
in trying to push his son.
money.
Hey, forget baseball.
Hey,
Gaming it is.
Maybe you're really good at this, and I have no idea. So I guess, I don't know. It's like they do these tournaments like twice a week, and they're 10 different games in a 3-hour window. Well, they were playing with one, of course, not for money.
Yeah.
And they did okay. They won like one of the segments.
Yeah.
So
didn't win the whole shebang.
They didn't win the whole shebang.
Well,
but I
here's one
guess
of the things.
Wednesday's the big day is what I've now learned. That's where you win the money.
And then when you get into those, it's like the level of talent shows up.
Oh, that's what Ty. That's what I said. I was
Yeah.
like, Ty, could you really like win? He's like, no. He's like, these people play this like 18 hours a day. He's like, they're unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I'm learning here.
Did I ever tell a story when a parent told me to stop talking smack to her son on Call of Duty?
Hey,
first year, what?
We'll get to 10 questions in a minute.
Yeah.
First year.
I'm glad because this doesn't even count as an actual question. That was just more of a joke.
So my first year at Jacksonville, obviously I got the new Call of Duty. That might have been what? Coos. Modern Warfare, like the original Modern Warfare, maybe? I don't know. Whatever it was, 2010. That's a long
Maybe
time
2
ago.
then.
But for whatever reason, man, I had this, because you know my personality, Brent. I'm petty, number one, and number two, I can talk some smack. And we're going against these kids, man. It was me and my friends from back in Wisconsin, mind you, grown-ass men at the time. We're all, in our mid-20s going against a bunch of kids. And needless to say, we absolutely dominated them in every aspect of the game. And back then, I wasn't swearing, but for whatever reason, I had the habit of calling them Juice Box Boys. So I said, "What's up, Juice Box Boys? You like that? Go get me a Juice Box Boy." And that's actually, it's from a movie from Will Ferrell. It's called Kicking and Screaming. So I kept on repeating that. Little did I know that one of the kids' parents, like the speaker was on the TV, not in the headphones, right? So the whole time, this kid's mom is listening to me call her son repeatedly over and over and over again a Juice Box Boy. So finally, the parent had enough, jumps on the microphone and goes, "Stop calling my son a Juice Box Boy. You're you're an expletive. You're a grown expletive. Man, what are you doing talking smack to like a 10-year-old?" I'm like, "Sorry about that, man. I had no idea." And I said, "He's still a Juice Box Boy." Quick, and then I got off of it.
That's the best because they can't find you.
You can't find me. What are you gonna do? I'm in the NFL trying to make a career for myself, but instead of going over my playbook, I'm talking to 10-year-olds calling them Juice Box Boys online. You gotta love it, man. Brent, isn't it amazing I made it? Isn't it amazing I made it as long as I did in the NFL? Isn't it amazing I made it 5 years in the league?
It really is.
But by the grace of God, Brent, I'll tell you what, man.
So the main reason I brought that up was to
we live such different lives.
I know, it's all good though.
The main reason I did bring that up though was to talk about the 2K tournament that the NBA players are doing. The quarterfinals are going to be Thursday. Do you guys like it? Like, what? Do you hate it? Do you feel any kind of way about it?
Yeah, listen, I'm not going to watch.
It was kind of to Brent, but you can answer.
I'm not watching much of it. I saw it a little bit on, and again, I kind of feed up. I think what they're going after here is that younger generation of kids to say, trying to keep the NBA alive anyway, show some personality with the guys, and I think that's been fun having them mic'd up and competing. But like Ty was watching. Now he wasn't locked in, but he was kind of casually watching it the other day. I think that's what they're after. So it's not. It's not that I don't like it. But I would just say I wasn't locked into it either. I'm not sitting there watching two people play video games. I know that's the big thing now, but I'm not doing it.
I'm with you, man.
But even the problem I had with that was like players not playing as their team that they are in real life. I guess it kind of felt weird to me.
Yeah, you had a problem with that.
Yeah.
I thought when I saw that, I actually thought they were just excluded from using their own team.
And
like
maybe
that
it
would have
is,
been a good
but-
rule to put in.
But then everyone just picked the Bucks, which so.
I mean, to tell the truth, back in 2010, I wasn't playing with the Jaguars in Madden. All right, so hey, not even close.
And this question goes
not even close.
Full circle.
Yeah. All right.
Steelers.
So Austin.
Steelers, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, what's up, man?
Schefter tweeted that Hard Knocks is planning to do a double team Hard Knocks this year. And they said that it's possibly going to be the Los Angeles Rams and the Chargers.
Yep.
Do you like those teams for Hard Knocks?
No, not really. I can see the Rams intrigue a little bit. You got Sean McVay, Mr. Pretty Boy. You know, that's going to be good for ratings. Obviously, you got Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald. So you have some of the star power there. To me, though, the Chargers, it's just kind of like, well, you don't have Phillip Rivers anymore. Melvin Gordon's gone. You know, who's going to be like the polarizing guy on the Chargers? And I just can't really name one right now. You know, I mean, Keenan Allen, I guess.
No, I mean, Derwin James will be the star.
I guess, Derwin James, you're right.
Derwin James will be the star of Hard Knocks, I would think.
Yeah, so overall, man, I would have liked to see, like, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville, you know, like, I just felt like, didn't the Rams just have Hard Knocks, it seems like, or didn't?
Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, but McVay will be a good player in that. And by the way, I mean,
I'm not mad about the Rams. It's the Chargers.
Are you going to get? Are we all going to get sick and tired of? We're not going to watch it around here because of Ramsey, because you know Ramsey's going to be a star in it.
Oh, of course, man. I mean, that's why that's probably the main reason why they chose the Rams. I'm not going to get sick and tired of it. Like I know what Ramsey is and everything, but let's keep in mind too, they still have to have a regular, you know, camp.
Yeah.
So we don't know how that's going to.
I like the idea, by the way, to freshen it up and give it a little something different. I am not as. I like Hard Knocks.
Sure.
But I'm not as over the top about Hard Knocks as so many other people are. And I think it was starting to get a little bit stale. Everybody could write the script.
Oh, the Raiders was horrible last year.
So
yeah.
I think at least this flips it a little bit, and you get two teams involved, and maybe that will prevent some of the stale nature of some of the personalities.
Sure.
And only so many ways to do it, because, again, you can get access, but you're not getting complete access. Nobody's going to allow you to do all of that.
Let me ask you, you can pick one team excluding the Jaguars for Hard Knocks. Who are you getting?
Oof, great one. I guess the Bucs would be a lot of fun in terms of Tom Brady. You know, how do they adapt to that? But actually, on the flip side of that, he'll never do it. But wouldn't the Patriots be fun to figure out how they are going to navigate without
now
Brady?
What?
You know?
That could be the title of it. Hard Knocks. Now what?
You know what team doesn't need Hard Knocks, though?
Who's that?
Is like Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. Like, the guy talks like 14 times a week.
That's a good point.
You know, I mean,
we've seen behind the curtain. We know what goes on
I
there.
don't even think you need that.
Yeah. Listen, to me, there's only one. Well, there's a couple of teams you can name. Obviously, I think Baltimore would be intriguing a little bit because they're the hot team. But, dude, Kansas City, man. Because the head coach always makes Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Andy Reid, are you kidding me, man? Kansas City. Give me Kansas City.
By the way,
Hard
you got
Knocks.
Kelsey, personality.
Yes. Patrick Mahomes, obviously.
Yeah.
Come on.
They would
Tyreek
play
Hill.
well.
Yeah.
By the way, Baltimore won't do it anyway because, like, on the list of paranoid coaches, John Harbaugh is at near the top.
He's worried about getting hacked for the.
No surprise that came from him.
Right.
Again, like, you'd think the NFL they were doing brain surgery every day.
Yeah.
All right. Are we going to answer these questions?
That was one of them.
I know. That was like 15 minutes. We got to hustle. Let's go.
But you segued perfectly into my next one, Brent, is talking about the potential of their Zoom getting hacked. How many teams do you think claim this if their pick is not received very well?
That's a good call right there. That's a great rebuttal for a lot of teams. Again, guys, I have a feeling this is going to go off a lot better than people think. I don't think a lot of these snafus are going to exist. Could we see a minor glitch? Maybe. I think there might be some more issues. See, this happens a lot in our business, too, where the listener or sometimes the viewer doesn't realize something happened, yet everybody's freaking out behind the scenes, right? I think there'll be a little bit of that. Like if you knew what was going on inside the rooms or communication and all that kind of stuff. But I just don't know if, as a viewer, we'll be able to tell all that.
It's like when you see a band perform. It sounds great, and then you talk to them, and they're like, "Oh, I totally messed up this or that," and you're like, "Well, I didn't know
Great
that."
analogy. It's the same thing. I think that's what this will be. We'll hear in the Monday Morning Quarterback with Peter King of all the things that kind of went wrong and everybody telling their own little dirty secret here or there. But I'm not sure we're going to see that during draft weekend.
All right, Austin, the GM for the Steelers offered potentially adding 3 more rounds to the draft to widen the club's margin for error. Do you think that would help, or is that like an overreaction?
Would it help? Yes. Do I think they should do it? Absolutely not, because you're going to make up for your margin of error. How about you don't have a margin of error? How about you do your job? Your scouting department does their job. You're a GM. You do your job, and you pick the right guys. Okay, there's no excuses. You've had opportunities to watch film. You've had opportunities to meet with college guys during the regular season. You're supposed to do your due diligence at the Combine and the Senior Bowl and all the All-Star games. So make the right decisions. Don't add it because, well, we don't have these pro days now. No, there's no excuses, man. Welcome to the show. Make the right picks.
This was an interesting one that I saw on Reddit. Brent, where would you rank Daniel Jones and Kyler Murray in this year's quarterback class? And I'll throw Gardner Minshew in that too, even though I know he was kind of later and more of a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, those were top 10. That's a great question. I like the question on Reddit for that one. I mean, Burrow would be slam dunk number 1. The question is, where does Tua come in? I think Tua would come in next. And again, I'm not even that high on Tua. I just think from a ranking standpoint. Now, remember, I was high on Jones. So I had Jones ahead of Kyler Murray.
He was first team all Brent Martin.
He was. In fact, I'm naming my boat after him.
Daniel Jones.
DJ.
Daniel Jones Locker. Because, Daniel Jones. Done. Make T-shirts right now.
By the way, the best boat response.
Print them up.
And can I just steal it? It was from Josh. He said he's naming his boat Bortles.
Of course. It was right for us the whole time.
I know, the whole time it was right there. I know, I should have done it. I died on that damn hill. I should name the boat after him.
Gonna die in the ocean, too.
But, yeah, so I would say Burrow, Tua, Jones, Murray.
And where would you put, if Minshew was in the mix, does that change it at all?
Knowing what we know now or not? Well,
I guess you have to take into what you know now, right? Just to make
I still think if I'm being... Well, here's the deal. It's funny about me because, again, I'm going to be a little careful here. I'm kind of doing it as how I think the people would, how analysts would do it. Mm-hmm. I'm not a huge believer that Tua is going to be this great NFL quarterback. So... But I think coming out, they would be in that order. And I think Minshew probably still, even now, would be 5th on that list. But, I think Minshew is going to be a better quarterback than Tua when you look back on the career. I really do. As of right now.
Cool.
All right, Austin.
Not sure about Daniel Jones, though. I would hesitate.
Oh, Brent, shame on you, man. Going back on your boy like that?
I just have to be honest.
First team all Martin.
I had Daniel Jones high on my list.
First team all Martin.
And I'm riding with it.
He was unanimous, too. Unanimous decision, first team all Martin. What do you got, Coos?
All right. Do you think there will be a run on quarterbacks in the draft like we kind of talked about yesterday? I know a lot of people are starting to comment about that.
A run in the first round?
Sure.
Okay.
Because the idea being if that happens, then that might help the Jags.
Yeah.
Really in the top 10. What would there be a run? This is going to get into our topic in a minute, too. But Herbert and Jordan Love, did they sneak in the top 10 and kind of reset the top half of that first round?
So I think Herbert definitely sneaks in. Obviously, Tua's going to be in there. Jordan Love's the wild card. So do I think Tua goes top 10? Do I think Justin Herbert goes top 10? And obviously, you got Burrow. I think 3 quarterbacks go in the top 10. I think the wild card is Love, and I get the comparisons because people want to say, well, this guy's like Patrick Mahomes. I get that. You can make an argument, well, he's a small school guy. Well, so is Josh Allen for the Buffalo Bills, and you saw how he did last year, okay? And he came from Wyoming, who didn't put up really gaudy numbers, had nobody around him. So I can see the intrigue, But I don't think anyone wants to take that risk. I don't think anybody wants to be the team that, moves up to take Jordan Love and said, we put all our chips in this basket, like a la Mitch Trubisky, and then get crucified for it. So I think there's going to be 3 quarterbacks in the top 10. And then Jordan Love maybe goes someplace deep down in the first round.
All right, Brent. And the question for you is, what team will end up with Jan?
Yeah. Well, here's the deal. And this goes back to a little bit of a conversation we had prior to the show on social media with Ryan Davis, former Jags player. And he listed the top 5 teams that he could go to. The Giants, the Eagles were on the list. The Bills were on the list. I think the Jets were on the list, and I'm missing one team. And I said, where are the Jags? Kind of kidding. But in 2020, where do I think Yannick Ngakoue is going to be? I'm sticking with the Jags. And Davis, funny, Ryan, he put 33rd. He was having some fun with it. And I think there are a lot of folks that would say to this answer, somebody else. They'll be somewhere else. Well, one person on Twitter just said, I hope he stays in Duval. Well, I'm not sure hope is a good one. That's going to work. Jags mega fan says, I hope he goes to the Giants. Obviously wants Jan out of here. I think Jan will be in Jacksonville. I'm going to stick to that. I don't think they're going to get what they want in return. I think Shad Khan is digging in the sand on this one, and I think that franchise tag will stick. He's going to have to sign that franchise tag. I think he eventually will. I think he'll play in Jacksonville in 2020, like it or not.
Last question for Austin. Which team should want Jan the most?
Good one, Kuz. Very good. It's just like Kuz going after his English class, where you had to kind of from reading comprehension to then writing an essay. And you'd almost build that one paragraph off this one little subject. He's building this last couple questions off was one topic of Jan very nicely.
It's not too bad,
I usually just copied from the person next to me, but...
Plagiarism again.
That sounds about right. Thanks for buying me time. While I check out the Bills depth chart and I see it and we're good. Okay, so if it's me, I'm going to go with the Eagles. Obviously, that wide 9 defense, like I've talked about now, to probably some listeners are nauseous about it, but the wide 9 defense is a defensive end friendly defense. I think Yannick Ngakoue would fit that mold really well. I think Philly, they have Fletcher Cox at the 3 technique, so they have that piece done. They have older guys on the edge. You have Brandon Graham, who came out the same year I did, so either you're old or whatever. I don't know. I don't think I'm old, but people will tell you that you're old. So you're old there, and obviously at the other side you can have Yannick Ngakoue rushing the passer. I think the Eagles, because there are a few players away, I think, especially in that division, from making some noise yet again. Brent, have you seen Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft right now? He just posted.
He just put it out? What's he got for me?
This morning.
Is this going to play into this next conversation?
Nope, but it's going to make you mad.
Oh.
So he's got
Isaiah Simmons.
So he's got Derek Brown going number 7. That would make you mad. Isaiah Simmons actually goes number 10 to the Cleveland Browns. The Jaguars take Mekhi Becton, offensive tackle, Louisville, with the number 9 pick.
He's a big fella, man.
Sure.
Listen, that's not going to make me mad.
Over Isaiah Simmons?
That would be interesting. I thought about that scenario yesterday, maybe on one of my walks just when I saw the boat. But
Brent goes on draft walks.
Well, listen, I have nothing else to say to my wife. I'm making 3 walks a day here.
I got nothing else to say to my wife. He's done. There's no
and people see him walking, he's just
what else you want me to say? We go on 3 walks a day, 2.2 miles. I mean, it's a half hour at a time.
I'm telling you, you see him walking, it's like he's walking, but he's not there. What's he doing? In his mind, it's draft stuff going on.
I tell her, I said, hey, we're working on this umpire story, and every time we walk by the baseball fields, I'm thinking of how I'm writing the baseball story.
I'm touching my face. I don't care right now because it's so funny. I got nothing else to say to my wife. Oh, I love it, man.
So anyway, I was thinking that could draw an interesting reaction. I still don't know where Isaiah Simmons fits for the Jags. I don't know where it makes sense. Although I have a hard time passing up on a guy, and I've said this before, that might be like the Derwin James of this draft. I just don't know where he fits. And so when you have that puzzle piece, yes, there's a belief that I have of just go get the best player, find a place for him. But if you have guys like that you value off tackle, or say a Kinlaw was on the board where there's such a bigger need for that right now than Simmons, that could be one of those dangerous things we look back on, whether the Jags pick Simmons and take a flyer on that and don't really know where to put him, and so he underperforms, or they pass on him and Cleveland takes him or whoever takes him and he's a stud and you had the chance. He's a big risk-reward guy, I think, in this draft for the Jacksonville Jaguars is Simmons. But I can't tell you I'd be mad at that pick. I know it's not a sexy pick. I think it also sets me up for the future very nicely if you pick the kid out of Louisville. He is a big, big dude.
He also has a number at 20 then. The Jaguars taking Justin Jefferson out of LSU, wide receiver.
Yeah, that is going to surprise me.
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
But yeah, get to your stuff, man. Sorry,
real quick, Justin Herbert.
Yes.
And we're going to do Bold City Heating and Air, by the way. Hot or cold stock on some of these draft prospects. Bold City Heating and Air. Do what I do. Give them a call, and they'll help you out at home. I know these are difficult times. They're sensitive to that, but they want to let you know that they are there for you as well. 904-379-1648, or visit them at boldcityac.com. Bold City Heating and Air. Hot or cold in terms of the stock of Justin Herbert. Hot. But are they right? Like, this is one where it's rising because he's got, QB next to his name. Mm-hmm. Why am I not in love with him? Like, I'm cold on Herbert, especially where people have him. Some mock to the Jags, especially if they were to jump up in the draft. That silly one CBS Sports had, I think.
Come on, guys.
Why is he so hot right now in terms of moving up boards? Is it simply just because of the position? And do you think he's worthy of his stock rising?
So why is he hot in a lot of people's eyes? Because once again, you make the mistake that everybody makes, where you have this preconceived notion of what a quarterback looks like. All right, this is a big, tall, big frame type of dude, pretty athletic, big arm. I think he's right. I mean, and actually, I'm not saying I believe in Justin Herbert like to be a full-fledged all-pro quarterback, but I do think he's going to have a pretty good career because all I have to go off of is the last game I saw him compete in. Okay, and that was Wisconsin Badgers Rose Bowl game. We all think that we know what Oregon offense when we see it, right? The Oregon offense with Marcus Mariota back in the day, like this high-powered offensive juggernaut, and that's what Oregon's always been. Well, go back to last year and the year before that, they were a run-first team, pass second, and that's what happened against the Wisconsin Badgers. Now, I think Justin Herbert has the legs to be successful. I think he's got the big arm to be successful. Can he put it all together? I thought he made some great throws in that Rose Bowl game. I think he's intriguing, man. I think if he gets with the right team, he could be the best quarterback, maybe. And mark this down. With Burrow even in it and Tua, he might be the best quarterback in the draft in the next 5 years.
So you might be hot on him as well. Thanks to Bold City Heating and Air. Once again, give them a call, 904-379-1648, or visit them at boldcityac.com. How about this for a boat name?
Finally, here we are. What do you got?
Ready, Coos? The nod to Coos.
Okay.
Ballin', not falling.
I like it. I mean, ballin', not squalling.
I got a little play on the water.
Because of the water. Yeah, but all right. I'm not mad at that, though. Cool, let's go ahead and trademark that. Let's go buy a boat, and I'm sure that's going to be a tax write-off for the show, right? They put some ESPN 690 stickers on it.
Listen,
we need a boat.
Write it off, yeah.
Nick's not here to tell us no.
Yeah, we don't have any.
Hey, Nick, we just bought a boat.
Yep, put it on the card.
We'll put a logo on it. You guys can broadcast from out there.
Put it on the corporate card.
Put it on the corporate card.
And sign us up for the boat show next year.
Let's get it.
Have a good night, everybody. We'll see you on TV, CBS 47 and Fox 30. More on the Yannick Ngakoue situation coming up on TV. And we'll have a local golf day tomorrow here on ESPN 690. Hey everybody, it's Brent Morneau. We at Action Sports Shacks hope you and your family are doing well. Coronavirus has forced a lot of people to choose between buying food and keeping the lights on. Whether you're one of these people or not, we're all living through this pandemic together. We've partnered with Feeding Northeast Florida for a virtual food drive so you can help without leaving your house. To donate now, go to ESPN690.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. At Ace, we always have been and always will be committed to our local communities because we're here to help others. So in this time of need, your local Ace remains open. And since we're in your neighborhood, we can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for the home or yard products you're looking for. And choose from top brands like Steel, Ego, Toro, and Scotts. Then you can pick up in-store, curbside, or we'll deliver your order right to your door. Help is just around the block. See acehardware.com for details.
J. David Tax Law wants you to know that they are here to help individuals and businesses with tax debt issues during the coronavirus pandemic. Hey everybody, this is Brent Martineau. Tax problems can be extremely stressful, especially now. If you owe a tax debt, there are new programs available that can help reduce or eliminate your IRS or sales tax burden. These programs expire on July 15th, so don't wait. Get the help you need with tax debt, payroll taxes, bank levies, wage garnishments, tax liens, and unfiled returns. With a $1 trillion economic stimulus package on the way, the IRS will be collecting an unprecedented amount of tax debt to fund this historic initiative. At J. David Tax Law, only highly experienced tax attorneys will represent you. Never trust your tax situation to anyone you can't walk in and look in the eye. If you have federal or state sales tax debt, have a sit-down with J. David Tax Law. Your first step is a no-cost consultation. Call J. David Tax Law at 904-507-4777 or go to jdavidtaxlaw.com.
Jacksonville Truck Center is here to help you get in the truck you deserve. When you need a fleet vehicle, Jacksonville Truck Center has the largest selection of pre-owned commercial vehicles, including cargo vans and work trucks. We're here to make it easy for you. There's commercial or personal financing available, even if you have bad credit. Don't spend your tax return money anywhere else. Visit the new Jacksonville Truck Center on Arlington Expressway next to the Southside Connector or online at jacksonvilletruckcenter.com.
Do you have a great idea for a business but unsure if there is a market? Most businesses require investing in machinery and equipment, but where do you find funding? If you're struggling with questions like this, attend a local SCORE workshop. This year, SCORE will hold 140 workshops around Jacksonville. Find one that meets your need by clicking on the Take a Workshop tab at jacksonville.score.org and register today.
Do you know a child who is deaf, hard of hearing, blind, or visually impaired? The Florida School for the Deaf and Blind in St. Augustine is a fully accredited, tuition-free state public school that gives children an edge for a lifetime of success. FSDB is nationally recognized for its educational services designed for students' unique communication and accessibility needs. Eligible pre-K and kindergarten through 12th grade students benefit from small class sizes, advanced technology, and various recreation, extracurricular, and performing arts activities. Transportation and boarding services are free to any eligible deaf or blind student, kindergarten through high school, no matter where the student lives in Florida. My name is Trent Ferguson, and I'm a proud graduate of this wonderful school. This place changes lives. To learn more information or to apply for enrollment, call 800-344-3737 or log on to www.fsdbk12.org.
These days, the whole world is on the internet 24/7, on their phones, at work, even at the dinner table. It's the internet all the time. So why, when it's time to sell your home, does your traditional agent charge you 6% to list it on the MLS to other agents instead of targeting buyers directly online? That's why Rex was born. For a fee starting at 2%, Rex sells your home where buyers are looking, online, optimized by data-driven marketing, not the MLS. To get started, visit sellwithrex.com. That's sellwithrex.com. With Rex, selling or buying a home has never been easier. Price your home, get a virtual consultation, visit online open houses and showings, all from the comfort of your home with a few clicks of a button. Want to learn more? Visit sellwithrex.com or just use your phone and call 833-REX-HOME. 833-REX-HOME. That's 833-739-4663. License number CQ 1057788. Minimum fee may apply. Rex fully supports the principles of the Fair Housing Act and Equal Opportunity Act.
Ortho Edge understands the need for medical treatment in times of uncertainty, so the office will remain open. Ortho Edge takes your health and safety as well as the well-being of staff very seriously. All patients will be screened for COVID-19 symptoms, and strict sterilization and disinfection procedures are in place. Ortho Edge also offers telemedicine, giving patients the ability to receive care via video chat from the safety of their home. Visit orthoedge.com or call 204-5000. Ortho Edge, located in the DePaul Building, St. Vincent's, Riverside.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
You know, all the staff, everybody else that gets put to work if these things come back. But
again, all of that is done with a mind to how are we staying safe. The same way that ESPN, as you mentioned, is, they want to get TV shows back on, so they're sending us units to try to make those TV shows from home. They're having our producers for this show. Usually one of them is in the studio, and the other ones are doing their job from home the best they can. My podcast producer is at home. So they're finding ways to put out a product, but making adjustments as required. And Buster Olney was on Golick and Wingo this morning, our ESPN MLB insider. I thought he was very smart in talking about, yes, you can look ahead and try to plan, but understand that even in the 3 weeks to a month that we have been dealing with this issue very seriously here as a public and not just the experts, we have noticed a change in position, a change in understanding, that we are all evolving in our understanding of that, and that may very well affect the plans that you're making even for the next month or 6 months.
This is something they have to make sure that they do not rush. And Golick, I thought you cast it right. It's important that they're having these conversations, that they're talking about contingencies. You talk about ideas, you get the big picture idea.